Good morning, and welcome to episode number 2. We are excited to be here live on location, KBKG More Music 93.5 headquarters, home station here in Corning, Arkansas. Big thanks to, let me turn that down a little bit.
Oh, you got your hand on. I just shaved my head this morning just for y'all.
That's awesome. Can you kind of feel it?
Yeah.
Coach, you have to rub this for good luck before you leave.
Yeah, several times.
Andy Earls, your host, alongside Bart White, Mark Hufford. We're excited to be here. We are awake.
Up Daddy.
Up Daddy. This is the middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtle. Which one do we think you were?
I don't know.
It wasn't Donatello too smart.
It had to be Donatello. It was the dumb one for sure.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Speaking of
Hey,
smart.
which one ate the most pizza?
I think that was the red one. You had a red shirt on. Speaking of smarts, we've got a guy here that is absolutely brilliant. If we put like one of those Rubik's Cubes in front of me and get it solved in like 3 minutes.
Where?
Oh! That's a low blow. It's too
I ain't
early.
know I'm messing with him.
It's too early for that, man. Come
I ain't
on.
know I'm messing with him.
Assistant Coach Trevor Poe. Coach, it's good to have you here this morning.
Hey, it's good to be here. I thank you guys for the invite.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you. We certainly couldn't do this without having you here. My little girl's over here with us too today.
I hope they don't stick their fingers in that fan.
I know. They'll learn pretty quick, won't they?
Yeah. When we have to take them to the ER and have his fingers sewed back on.
Oh, goodness. We got Coach Trevor Poe here, and we're going to go through some questions here with Coach Poe. Again, big thank you to him. Anytime it's game day and you can get a coach here. All right, so I've got kids screaming. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys take over and ask the questions.
All
Coach, real quick, though, before we get to that point, if you don't mind, as one of my kids are screaming hysterically, tell us a little bit about you real quick. She may have, yeah.
Coach Trevor Poe, grew up in Pocahontas, Arkansas. Two-sport athlete in college. Played football and baseball at Arkansas Tech and also at Williams Baptist. And been in Corning for 7 years now. Glad to be here.
Take us back to your childhood. Where did you actually grow up? Did you just grow up at Pocahontas?
I was in Pocahontas and been there my whole life. My dad was a Redskin. And
he answered 3 of the questions. On the first question, he answered 3 of the first questions. All right, we already know he played sports growing up. That was the next question. Who were some of your role models growing up?
Growing up, and my biggest role model growing up was my dad. You know, he coached me in.
I know your dad very well.
Sports.
Nice guy, great guy.
And he continues to be a role model today. And you know, anytime I need anything, I need to talk to somebody, I can call Dad, and that's a great relationship that
that's
I have.
who I usually call him. My rent house propane tank runs low.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Coach, do you have any celebrity crushes growing up or idols?
Celebrity crushes, man. Hannah Montana was a big thing when I was in school, you know.
She's just a
crush on
baby.
Hannah Montana.
She ain't now. Hey, Lisa's crush wasn't who he wanted to be his mom.
Yeah, that was Mike Smith, wasn't it?
No, it was
That was Walls. But
no, it was I can't think of his name. The new AD.
Mr. Hampton.
Mr. Hampton.
Yeah, Mr. Hampton.
We wouldn't throw him under the bus.
Did you hear that?
I didn't.
He said Stevie Nicks was his celebrity crush.
Which is
And
a
then-
good one, by the way.
Yeah, which is a good one. Then a couple minutes later, he said, yeah, somebody asked me, I always wished that Stevie Nicks was my mom and Willie Nelson was my dad. And I said, hold on a second. Are you saying that you wanted your crush to be your mom? He goes, You got me on that one.
Hey, real quick before they get into anything else, I want to say thank you personally for being here at Corning and staying as long as you had. You have been through the ups, the downs, and you're still here. Obviously, I know you weren't born here, you weren't raised up here in Corning. So for you to stay here through all that, I think that speaks volumes. And I don't know if you know this or not, and I don't think I've ever talked to you about this. And maybe you do know it. Maybe Treadway talked to you. But when Treadway first got hired, Coach Treadway, which was our previous head coach, I think I worked for the Courier then maybe. But anyways, I went to Walnut Ridge, and I did an interview with him. And we start talking, and I didn't bring you up at all. He just out of nowhere says, man, that Trevor Poe, boy, he's brilliant. And I'm like, that was out of nowhere. I'm like, Coach Trevor Poe, are you sure about that? You know, I was like, now hang on, Coach. And he had told me that he actually wanted you when he was at Walnut Ridge. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. So it didn't work out. I didn't know at the time. I knew that they wanted to hire me, but I didn't know at the time. Some stuff worked out with girls basketball, and I wasn't at a point in my career where I wanted to coach girls basketball really, you know, and it just didn't work out. Now I wish I'd have known then, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all worked out. I came here to Corning, and then he came, and he was a great guy to work under. Did my student teaching over there, and Coach Treadway is just a great man.
Well, he thanks a lot of you, and I thought that was so, because we had just started, and I mean he brought you up early and just volunteered, and I'm like, and when he said the smart, I'm like, what now? He said, and I can't remember what he told me. He said something about either ACT score or something. I'm like, Coach Poe did that?
Well, we're gonna have him on the show again, and I'm bringing a Rubik's Cube.
Do it. Bring it, baby. I guarantee you he'll have it figured out in no time.
Hey, I want to say something, too. All the boys think a lot of you.
Yeah,
all of them. Every one of them do.
Yeah.
I want to feed off that same thing. It's the consistency, the stability that those boys have had with you being there.
Yep.
Yes.
It means a lot to them. You can ask them all, well, okay, I'm going to get them all in trouble, but who's your favorite coach? And it's going to be Coach Poe because he has been with us through everything.
Yeah. Well, those boys, man, they show up and they
Hell,
work hard.
as smart as he is, he probably helps them all with their homework. That's probably why they like it.
But, man, that group of kids, you say I've been through the ringer. Those boys have been through the ringer.
They have.
And they keep showing up, and it's the least I can do to just show up and be with them every day. So.
All right, Trevor, next question for you, buddy. What is the most exciting Corning sporting event you've ever witnessed or been a part of since you've been here?
Oh, man. I got to go back. It's a tie. I'm going to say it's a tie. It's got to be when we broke the streak.
Yes.
Over at Rector. And with last year's Piggott game.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. That's
my
mine and
man.
Andy's, man.
My
I
man.
guarantee you.
Man, that when we broke the streak, just not necessarily the game, but just seeing
that was at
the
Rector, right?
community. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was at Rector. But just after the game, our kids walked over to the sidelines. They went straight to the band, and the band played, and the community I felt like the community just came together.
Hey, it was like a Super Bowl, man.
It was.
Honestly,
it was awesome.
It was.
You know what's funny about that? You say that like maybe joking, but seriously, before
was.
the game, if you think about it, Corning had 42, whatever. I don't even like talking about it, but
Well, you brought it up, Andy, so apparently you
I
do.
know, right? And yet there's freaking people everywhere. I remember that was the first game we'd ever streamed, and we had to be on the opposite side. I remember looking over. I'm like, "There's not a seat in the bleachers." And you're looking down there. There's people up and down the line here. There's people up and down the line there. There's people back over here. I'm like,
I wish I'd have been in the booth with you.
I was like, man, this is a 3A, 2A state championship game. What are we looking at here? But you're right to your point about the community, and that meant a lot to a lot of people that night. You guys made a lot of people happy that night. I don't know that I actually teared up. I'm man enough to admit I teared up.
I might have just a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, but since the little ones were born. But I teared up that night, so I'm with you on that one. And then last year the Rice Bowl, that felt.
That was just a battle, man.
Yeah.
That was a battle last year, and those kids, man, I give credit to those kids because they came out and they fought every minute. Both sides.
Yeah.
Both sides fought every minute of that game, and it was an awesome game to be a part of.
That was a good.
I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think I'd have rather beat them 7-0. There's something about that just feels right to shut them out and to know that they were that close but couldn't get it. There's something about that just feels really. I got to ask you. So where's the Rice Bowl trophy right now?
Rice Bowl trophy. It's in the office. It's sitting on Coach Shelton's desk. It hasn't. He took it with him over to the indoor facility for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then once summer started, he put it on his desk, and it ain't moved since.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
I hope we keep it.
Me too.
Hope we keep it this year.
Yeah, it looks a lot better on this west side. I can
guarantee
promise.
it does. It don't even look like a trophy over there.
Hey, Coach Poe, if you could go back, what's one thing in your life that you would change?
Oh,
He
man.
probably be a little taller.
That's a good one. Now, I don't know if there's a lot that I would change. I think everything happens for a reason. I'm a big man of, we've got to learn from things, and I wouldn't be the same man I am sitting here today if it wasn't for everything that's happened in the past. So there's not much I would change.
So what's it like working with Coach Shelton?
Oh man, it's the only word I can use to describe it is just intense. He's just
He shows a lot of enthusiasm.
he
man.
is. It's the biggest thing is in everything that we do. It's the details. He's intense about the details. He's intense about every little thing at practice. He's his schedules for practice or everything. It's intense, and I love every minute of it. I've learned more over the past 2 years. Just about being a coach, not necessarily about
he's
football,
definitely
just being
proven
a
himself
coach.
as a coach.
Right.
There ain't no doubt about that.
And he's a great man to work for, I can tell you that.
So last year's Rice Bowl win, how emotional was that for you?
it was extremely emotional, especially with those seniors. More so seeing those seniors just come through, because I think that group of seniors, we had lost to Piggott all the way up with that group of seniors, and then finally their senior year they come out and they fight, and just to see it in their faces, man, the excitement that they had after the game, it was awesome.
I'm curious, take me into the field house here, into the clubhouse, if you will. During that week, were they confident, even though they had lost all that, and then of course had maybe a rough year?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was confidence. It was more of a focus. They knew going into it, and we were going to have, we needed to have a good week of practices, and every day it was we needed to focus on this, and if we are successful in practice on Monday and we put it together with a successful practice on Tuesday, we knew we could be successful on Friday, and they were really focused that week.
I know me and Andy was excited in the booth. I had people call me, man, we couldn't even understand what y'all were saying.
Yeah,
we don't care, man.
We definitely were. It was so loud that night too.
Oh man,
man, it really was like the crowd was very engaged.
Remember the guy that was sitting down there? We couldn't figure out who it was. That was cheering for us.
Yeah, I still don't know who he is. I think still to this day. I think he just showed up, and but man, that was awesome, and to be a part of that, I know for you it had to been pretty special, obviously, but it's been 10 years.
It has
10 years, long time. So
Man.
That felt good. I know. You grew up in Pocahontas, so who is Pocahontas' big rival?
Highland.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys had any, you didn't got to say it if you did when you grew up, if y'all had any like off-the-field shenanigans and everything, but I know us and Piggott have always had something, even not just on the field, but something.
Yeah.
And so that meant a lot to us because that one goes way back.
Yep. There's definitely something to say about these small town rivalries, man. And Coach Treadway talked about it. Coming from
Coach Smith's the one that started it when he beat him. Was it 68?
Well, I think it was before that when they were egging our buses coming through there at Pollard.
Yeah.
Several years ago, and then this whole courthouse county. I could go on and on about that, and I think God made Curly's Ridge just to kind of keep us apart. Honestly, I think that's what it is. He created that and said, "Okay, that's enough, guys. That's enough. Take a step back." They may have already asked this, but how did you and Miss Poe meet?
So my first year teaching was at Maynard, and she was my mentor at Maynard, and it just like any great relationship, we started out as friends, and it grew from there, and God created her for me.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty awesome.
I know your wife. She's a nice woman.
When did you know for sure, hey, this is the one? Was there a moment? Was there something she said? Did she have
I don't think it was necessarily a moment. I think it was just, we grew closer, and eventually I was like, this is somebody I could spend my life with, and I'm glad she said yes.
Where'd you take her on the first date? Do you remember?
First date, man, that wasn't a big one. We went
Taco
to
Bell.
Rancho Bravo in Pocahontas.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's not bad.
That was when it was at the old building where the Japanese restaurant is.
Okay,
now.
yeah.
Oh, right there by the stoplight.
Yeah, I went
right?
there a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, that's right. It used to be.
You can't, man. You cannot win with not going to Mexico, dude. That's a
right.
win-win.
I think
right
it
there,
is.
buddy.
Yeah. Is there anything more American than that? I don't think so.
Not around here.
Oh, good. That's great.
Okay, Coach Poe, do you like the bye week before the Piggott game?
I do. We scheduled that strategically. The bye week. We really think that's going to give us a chance, not only to prepare but to get healthy right before the end of the year and really the postseason. If we can, if we're blessed to make it to the postseason this year, we think that bye week is really going to help us out.
That's great for minor injuries too, man. Because a week off, that's a good deal.
So.
Yeah, that's it was interesting when I seen that. And I'm like, man, and I was looking back in our history there because we got some documented, and I couldn't find a year where we had 4 non-conference games in a bye week.
Right.
Now with this new week 0 and getting to start earlier and stuff like that. So
it was really up in the air. I think it was around February. They were talking about possibly moving Newport back into the conference and stuff like that. So scheduling was a little later this year, but finally when it worked out, and they said we were going to be a man short. We were able to strategically place that bye week somewhere, so that was nice.
I'm glad they finally give us a break with some of these. I mean, we got a hard enough conference as it is. Let them go somewhere else and play for a little bit. Let somebody else get a little taste of that.
Yeah.
Trevor, growing up, did you always want to be a coach, or?
I did not. So it's a funny story. My whole life I wanted to be a dentist. And the appeal to being a dentist to me was I had a buddy whose dad was a dentist, and he worked 4 days a week, and they had this huge house, and they had all this. And I was like, that'd be real nice to only work 4 days a week and be able to do all this. And then my junior year, I had a sit-down conversation with Coach Williams. He's a great man,
Yeah.
I had a sit-down conversation with him, and I just decided, that was something I wanted to do one day, was affect kids the way he had affected my life. And so that was a decision I had made when I was 17. So
he was a good man, good coach.
He was,
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah, he was.
He's missed.
Yeah, for sure. He was there a pretty long time, wasn't he?
He was. I think it was around 40. I think it was 42 years.
Goodness.
If I remember.
Is Coach
correct.
Howard still around?
Coach Howard is still around. He's making his way around Pocahontas.
Is he?
Yeah. Last I seen him at Walmart a couple weeks ago, and he was getting around. So
that's pretty cool. So even at a young age, you were thinking. You're using that noggin of yours, man, thinking, hey, shorter work weeks.
How old are you, Trevor?
I am 29.
It's still not too late to go be a dentist, buddy.
No, we want him on the sideline. Don't tell him
Well,
that.
if he ever decides he wants to do something
Don't
different.
tell him that. No. I hear they're overworked now. I hear it's a bad profession. Don't listen to him.
He's lying.
Yeah. Sounds like Bart though, 4 days a week and living in a mansion and all that stuff. No, I'm kidding.
I wish I lived in a mansion. No, I don't. It'd be more to clean.
That's right.
It'd be more to clean.
I got to know something. I hear about Coach Poe and numbers. Okay. You're the numbers guy. Where did that come from?
I don't know what to tell you. I know when I was in the 4th grade, we had to memorize multiplication facts back in the day. And so I remember sitting at the kitchen table, my mom cooking dinner, and she just spouting multiplication facts at me. And I'd just sit there, and if I didn't get one right, she'd make me repeat it like 5, 6, 7 times. And ever since that was really when I first became really good with numbers. And, ever since, it's just numbers make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's patterns, I guess. Patterns make sense to me, and so numbers make sense to me. And it's been that way since about the 4th grade. That's
so you've been weird your whole life then.
No, not his whole life. Since he was about 8, 9.
He just can't his brain can't process that, so that's why it's weird to him. So in staying with that though, I'm interested to know: are you big on analytics with football? Are you
big time? Yes, big time. We talk about we break down film, and we were talking about the details earlier. And we're always trying to pick up on tendencies. We break down defensively. How often do they blitz? Where do they blitz? And the big one is offensively. Can we pick up tendencies there? And it's all about the percentages. We want to know how many times they've done this compared to doing this, and every little tendency gives us an advantage. And it's a big deal, especially to our kids. The more confident they are in the tendencies, the more confident they play on Friday nights.
If you're confident, you're comfortable. And if you're comfortable, that's a good place to be.
Yes,
and you're not thinking out there. I know Coach Campbell used to say, if my kids, if they're thinking, I'm in trouble. It needs to be, instincts. So, I think that's awesome, though. You've been here, obviously our longest tenured coach. But how many head coaches now have you been through? Is it
Coach Shelton is my 4th.
4th coach?
Yes,
wow.
Yes,
See,
sir.
man, a guy like you, that would have been so easy. For you just say, you know what, okay, this is getting a little wild. This is another coach. Here we go. Maybe somewhere, back home or even close. Man, I have a lot of respect.
Yes, sir. Yep. Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man.
I'm just glad he didn't end up at Pickett.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Coach Mike Smith wouldn't have let that happen.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been liked very much.
Who was your? You was under Spear.
No, Stout. Stout was my first.
Stout was your first one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It was Stout, and then Coach Mosley, and then Coach Treadway, and now Coach Shelton.
I got you.
And that's, I'm not in there with you guys every day, but from a coaching perspective, that's 4 totally different coaches.
It is. It is, and 4 totally different personalities. But
so
it's been a blessing to be able to work for some of the men that I've worked for. So.
I tell you what, to learn to be able to handle all those different personalities, that's good in marriage, too. Really good in marriage. I love you, baby. If you're watching, I'm just kidding.
You better check what personality she's in this morning first.
Well, it's funny. I was telling these guys.
If he hadn't went back and got the kids, it would have been bad.
This morning, it was real early, and I had left. I had forgotten that she had some stuff to do this morning. Bless her heart, she works so hard and takes care of the kids. And I thought, I got about, 10 miles down the road, and she called me. And she says, "Where are you? What are you doing?" I'd forgotten it, so I'm off on the wrong foot already. So, but I did turn around. I could have told her I was already.
Hey,
in
at least you didn't hit the ignore button.
That's true.
That
would
would
been
be
really bad. Yeah, I might
Yeah.
as well crash with you guys, not in your mansion or something.
Yeah. Hey, I do have 2 extra bedrooms since the girls moved out, so there you
I'll have to
go.
remember that.
All right, let's get back to some football.
Okay.
I want to know what Coach Poe wants from his team tonight, offensively and defensively. What are you expecting from them?
Man, I want to control the line of scrimmage, and I think that's going to be something we talk about every week. And being senior heavy on the offensive line and defensive line, I think if we can control the line of scrimmage, we're going to be in a lot of ball games. And we're going to rely on those guys. Those are our leaders. You know, they've stepped up, and I think they're going to show us tonight what we've been preparing for.
How does Cross County's athleticism compare to the team we played last week?
You know, we're going to face a lot of athletes here early. I think Cross County has just as many as we seen last week.
Really?
You know, I think last week helped prepare us for what we're about to go through on the schedule. And you know, we prepared all week. You know, contain and gang tackle, and that's something we've got to do. We've got to get better at. So
yeah, that's
it's
right.
funny you say that. It's almost like a mirror image. I know their style's a little different, but you're looking at some of just the little tidbits away from the field. How many starters they have on defense come back? 10. Oh gosh, that's the same thing we had last week. How many on offense? 10. Oh gosh, you know, and listen, they had a big win against Harrisburg, which is a 4A school now.
Yes.
Their rival on their new turf. That was. Did you guys see that game? By the way,
No, I did not.
Holy hay bells! What an ending. That was unreal. So they're coming off a big high, so they got a lot of momentum. But I feel like this is our bounce back week. I know, like I said, I mentioned a couple years ago, I felt like Cave City game a couple years ago at home, and this Portageville game at home just was eerily similar. And that very next week, a couple years ago, we went to Yellville, and we really bounced back, and that's obviously what we're hoping for tonight. This week so far in practice, I mean, have you seen guys that have been down and out because of that game, or have you seen a –
You know, that's the thing with this group. You know, they right after the game, you know, they were like, okay, guys, let's forget it. You know, it's time to go back to work. And, you know, they came in on Saturday, and like Bart brought up, we did our running. You know, we run for penalties and we run for turnovers. So they came in, they did their running, and we dove right into film. And I'm telling you, these guys, they eat film up, you know. And we dove into that film, and they weren't happy with the result just like we weren't happy. And so I think that motivates them, you know. And so this week at practice has just been a great week at practice. We've been focused. You know, we've prepared great. And so I think this week will be a good week for us.
That's awesome. Well, we love to hear that. I know I think one of you was about to ask a question, but before, how are we health-wise, if it's okay to give that out?
Oh, I think we're doing good. You know, Ethan Jordan with the knee, you know, he's gonna battle that all year probably, and we got a new brace for him, and he said the new brace feels good. So
is he gonna play? He gonna play tonight?
I think he's gonna try to play tonight.
Deal.
So I think we're doing all right.
Awesome.
Mark, you got anything else for him?
I was making sure. It looked like he did, so I didn't want to.
You look like you had going.
Last week I interrupted him like 3 or 4 times. He kept giving me a look. So
you interrupt me in the booth all the time, Andy.
That's true. I do. Yeah, I yap a lot.
Here I'm in there trying to be funny, and he wants to throw out stats.
Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. See, he understands that.
We were talking about having the different styles of coaching with the head coaches you've been through. Mm-hmm. What about the new coaches that have come on board this year?
Yeah.
How do you see their future there at Corning?
Man, the new coaches, they've done everything we've asked them to do. You know what I'm saying? And all from Corning. Yeah, all from Corning. And I'll tell you what, they go to work, you know, and they've been eager to learn. I can say that, you know, every step of the way they you know, well, let's watch film, or hey, can you explain this to me? Let's look at this. You know, and they're eager to learn, and they're high energy, you know, all of them.
Both played football too. That helps.
Yes. And so it's been awesome having those guys. You know, we're preparing for a running quarterback this week, so one of them volunteered. You know, like, hey, coach, I'll be the scout team quarterback this week. I'll run around. You know, and so it's awesome to have those guys out there. So it's been exciting.
So have you ever had to volunteer for scout team quarterback?
I've ran some scout team quarterback before, but I don't know if it was because I volunteered.
Are you more of a running quarterback? Or are you more of a pocket passer? Well,
I like to hand it off. Just catch it and hand it off.
That's all.
Ray Stricker was the scout team quarterback. Nobody catch him.
Oh, gosh. He ran like a deer.
He was fast, wasn't he?
He ran like a deer. Man, you ain't a kidding. That's pretty funny. I do like that. Gosh, you're probably – well, how old's Coach Kyle George? He's older than you, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's 33, 34.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, man, you're one of the oldest ones there at 29. And that's But, well, okay, I got to know. This is kind of off the path here.
Okay.
What kind of genre of music are you listening to? Like, when you pulled up this one, what's on your radio?
And I've got a playlist. I Spotify. I don't have Apple Music. I have Spotify.
Okay.
But my playlist has a little bit of everything. You know,
Yeah.
we've got some old rock. We got some
Nice.
new rock. We got some
Any rap?
some R&B and rap. We've got some country
Nice.
music. You know,
Nice.
we've got a little bit of everything.
That's the way mine is,
So,
man. It's all over
yeah,
the place.
It is.
Do you have a preferred song that you go to before games that get you hyped, or are you more of the calm guy that kind of?
I don't like listening to music before games. Believe
Really?
it or not, you know, I like to, especially now. You know, I look at my play sheet and I try to just imagine the plays and I try to figure out. You know, I'm thinking about the game. I try to say, okay, you know, what are they going to adjust? How are they going to adjust? I think that's the game inside the game. You know what I'm saying? We're prepared this week for what we expect, but how are they going to adjust to it? So,
Bingo.
you know, before the game, I like to just try to be as focused as I can. So
He also has one other job before the game, and that's to keep an eye on Coach Shelton to make sure he don't stray too far.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because there was a game last year. And I can't remember where we were at, and it was early on, and I didn't know that Shelton had kind of done that, but he was just wandering way off. I'm like, what is he doing?
it was probably
Like to
Salem.
nowhere.
Probably Salem.
Well,
we
I
walked
think it
out.
was
was
Salem.
Salem.
It was
We
Salem.
come out. We were in the locker room, and I swear he had walked out maybe 30 seconds before us, and I was like, well, I needed to say something to him. I can't remember what it was. So I walked out, and I was like, where's he at? I started looking around, and I look over, and he's like a quarter mile away already. And I'm
Oh,
like,
he's
how
way
did he
out
get
there.
over there so fast.
Yeah.
It blew my mind that he had gone that far that quick.
Yeah.
That's the night Jesus almost kicked one in the concession stand.
Yeah.
Hey, there's food over there, babe. Sorry, I'm battling these kiddos.
This one's out like a light.
She actually is. I think
Yeah,
you're
she's
right.
asleep.
She's.
How do
always-
kids sleep like that, man?
I don't know.
Let me climb
man.
up in your lap, see if I
Come
can
on,
go sleep.
Get up here, Bart. Get up here, buddy. I got you.
Hey, we'll
This
break
door
that
won't
stool
hold us. Coach, we really appreciate you coming. We really do.
Appreciate the invite.
Anytime we've ever needed something, we don't have to sell you on it. You know what I mean? You've always just jumped in there, and that means a lot to us. I hope everybody can appreciate you. This is your seventh year. Okay, sorry.
First night time I met Trevor, me and him was reffing Pee Wee basketball game.
Yeah, we were.
I'm sorry you had to ref with him. I really am. But we really do appreciate you. I hope the community does too, for you sticking through all, like you said, the four coaches. You've seen the worst of the worst, and you've kind of helped build us back up to where we're respectable again. And that personally means a lot to me. And I know I bug you all the time, and I know you're probably, good Lord, with this guy. Anytime coaches got to deal with media, I know it's a headache. So you've never been mean to me about that. You probably should be. But I really appreciate that. So
Ryan, we appreciate you guys. You guys do so much for not just the kids, but the community. And
We
I hope
enjoy it,
everybody
man.
appreciates
I
it.
know myself. I'm so glad he asked me to help him.
Yes, sir.
Like a couple years ago, I loved it. I did a couple games that first time, and then I guess last year I did all of them but one.
yeah, we couldn't get rid of you. We tried.
Oh yeah, don't let him talk. hey, I know football season's a ways away. You gonna help me this year?
Got to lock him down. He's a free agent. I got to lock him some NIL money.
I'll do it as long as you let me do it, Andy.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. I really do. That's Coach Trevor Poe.
Thank you, Trevor.
Yes,
Corning
thank you,
assistant
guys.
coach here. We sure do appreciate him. Guys, we can't be here without the sponsors here, and Ray Taylor Ford is one of those big sponsors. We want to give them a little bit of love this morning. You're listening to Good Morning Corning on KBKG, More Music, 93.5. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtaylorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin,
for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our home. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtaylorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in.
And welcome back here. We're live on location. KBKG More Music 93.5, headquarters here, a hometown radio station here in Corning. Nothing?
Slap him.
Nothing from you
want me
guys?
to?
Slap him.
Gosh.
He wasn't holding his kid, I would.
I'm going to use it as a shield. Baby shield. There we go. Yeah. Hey, we've got an exciting interview coming up. We don't have one interviewee. We have two. No, not two. We have three. Count them. Three.
I'm glad you can count. You are a numbers guy.
Hooked on Phonics really worked for me. Really did. Three, and they are right here. Right there. Look at those guys. Usually you see them on the
Three
back.
stud muffins right there.
Yeah, usually you see them on a most wanted picture on the back.
Maybe the one in the middle.
The back of the newspaper. But today you're going to see them right here. They do have ankle bracelets on, but we'll get that figured out. Guys, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to have y'all introduce yourself real quick, if you don't mind, to the folks maybe at home that don't know who you are, things that you do, maybe some hobbies, and what you do for a living.
Well, there goes my phone. I get a lot of phone calls. Jim Davis. We got three boys going through Corning High School. One of them graduated last year, Parker Davis. I still got two in the, I guess you could say, the athletic programs, Roman Davis and Bennett Davis, coming up. My friend Jeremy.
Jeremy
Friend?
Woods. I don't know about that, Jim. Jeremy Woods, worked for Clay County Connect here in Corning. I just moved back about 2 years ago. I have 3 children. For spare time, I coach a girls softball team, travel softball team.
Chris Sherd. I work at Legacy Equipment. I got Rex. He's in the 7th grade, so he's coming up through the football.
Good little athlete.
Yes, sir.
Good little athlete.
Everybody knows you.
Hollywood.
Now, Jeremy came here fresh from the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but he's ripping through. He's going to start wearing cutoffs every time he comes
I'm
in.
surprised he didn't have a sleeveless shirt on, to tell you the truth.
He said something about the shirt he bought was at Baby Gap or something. I don't know what that meant.
Just the sleeves.
Teddy Bryan and Scobie bought all the sleeveless shirts.
Your legs are a little bigger than theirs.
Oh. All right, tell the folks that don't know, what year did you guys graduate here at Corning High School?
We graduated in 93.
93, okay. Who was y'all's coach in 93? Would that been
Coach Smith and Coach Darby.
Coach Darby?
Perry Darby.
Okay. Yeah, Mike Smith, yeah.
Right, don't forget
Yeah,
Ray.
yeah, he was
Coach
a scout.
Stricker.
We were just talking about him a while ago, how fast he was.
Coach Ray Stricker ran like a
He
deer.
would take a hit from us. Well, no,
Y'all actually should have dressed him out. He wasn't that much older than us. He really wasn't.
He sure looked.
He came here when I was a senior, and he was only like 21 or 2, so he wasn't much older than me when he came here.
Someone said that he'd went to Tech as like
Still
a.
there.
Is he still at Tech?
Yeah, just
Is he?
Okay. I knew he's like a counselor. Or,
Jordan.
yeah, Coach Chad Jordan.
Graduated with
Coach Chad Jordan's in y'all's grade, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, my seventh grade, and then junior high assistant coach, Coach Chad Jordan was. Matter of fact, I'm sure he's probably watching today. I don't have my phone, my little one's got, but Coach, if you're watching, hi. I didn't even invite him. I should have. He's from class of '93. Yeah, it shows what kind of guy I am. But
Yeah, Chad, he didn't want you here.
that's did not get. Good guy. He's doing great. He's doing great things, and gosh, he'll be running the whole school district over at.
He's
Green.
principal, isn't he?
I think he is, isn't he? He's a principal. Assistant superintendent.
Good for him.
Moving on
Hey,
up.
I gotta know. Were you guys this size?
Hand Jeremy that mic so it's in the middle.
No, we all weighed 190 pounds.
Jim weighed about 150.
You see my boys, that's what I look like.
Yeah, that's what Jim looked like. That ain't no joke.
Jim went to played at UCA. He was a stud, but when he come back after that first semester,
Oh my God, I seen him at a graduation. Somebody in Corny was graduating. I walked up. I'm like, holy crap, Jim!
yeah, he
Man,
put the size on.
gained about 450 pounds of muscle.
I'm living next to the cafeteria.
I wish Hollywood was this size back in the day. So he could
Yeah,
block him
he
more.
could have been the guard and the tackle.
Yes. You weren't 190 either.
Well, we graduated high school.
That's what I played quarterback at 190. I was big as my lineman. So.
That's crazy, isn't it?
What-
That's a scary feeling knowing that you're playing a big team and you average 190 across the line. But that's how it happens here, though, in Corning, though. It really does. Tell me, I want to know some of y'all's most memorable moments growing up playing football here at Corning.
I started saying by saying Niles Cherry shaking a paddle in our face for 4 years, threatening to put us out because you can't play tackle football. And what's funny is years after it got, I got out of Central, he told me, he said, I never would have whipped you boys. He said, because I always thought y'all were going to be, I thought y'all were going to be special. He said, I had to make you think of it.
He knew you were
But
special,
he
Jim.
said, I never would have spanked you. But, I love you.
Good thing now you got the Pee Wee football program, and this guy here helped start it.
That's
Back
awesome.
in the day, him and Tony Hudson, but our Pee Wee tackle football was at Central with no pads on.
Yeah,
From
and on the weekends,
we played in this
all the time, man. Me and
Right,
Jeremy
radio
spent a lot
station.
of time together when we were kids.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, we got a lot of trouble playing tackle football, but that's where it all started.
I used to pick him up for school before he got his driver's license.
Was he as big of a troublemaker back then, Bart White, as he is now?
That's why I got in a lot of trouble.
Okay, because of Bart.
He ain't never got in trouble because of me.
All right, so y'all had you had Coach Stricker, Coach Darby, and Mike Smith. What was it like for you guys playing under Coach Mike Smith?
What I've said about Mike Smith over the years to people, I think this says a lot about the character of him, is everybody a lot of times worries about football and winning games and everything, but I think one of his biggest priorities is he wanted to turn this into good men. He expected certain behavior. He demanded it. He expected, we didn't cuss. What we did on the field is another thing. But, as far as when we were traveling, we were not, we behaved, we dressed right.
I've never heard
We wore
Jeremy say a
ties,
cuss word.
They always wore ties.
Wore ties, yeah.
But he
No.
put a lot of focus on,
No facial hair,
just,
no hair out of the helmets. I mean, we were.
if you walk in with
He
earrings, I think
expected
you
us
took
to
it.
act
If you'd had a mullet, he'd have scalped you.
in the community also.
That's awesome.
He put a lot of emphasis
Running
into that.
involved if you didn't.
Yeah,
That's more important.
communities.
But
Yeah,
He helped make us who we are today. So, Coach, we appreciate that.
yeah. We had him here last week,
Yeah.
and
Great interview with him.
yeah, it really,
Great
really
interview.
was.
All the interviewees were good last week.
We were really blessed. Yeah, we had some good ones for sure. And Coach Mike, he's just so humble, man. He's so humble, and it was really neat hearing some of his stories. And you guys had Coach Mike as a head coach. I had him as an assistant coach, and he's just like you guys said. He's just a role model, man. Like he's the kind of guy you want to be. Like you tell my son, hey, you need to look at this guy, how he does things, how he handles things, and he never got too high. He never got too low, it seemed like. He's always even keel. And
Yeah.
Well, you weren't with us
Get that blood pressure up.
We got it going pretty good. We were fortunate to have Coach Mark our sophomore year as a defensive coordinator. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
we had 3 of the 4 coaches you had on last week. Coach Walls in junior high, and then Mark and Mike. So
I just had a text saying that nobody can hear what they're saying.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I say we switch it up. I say we let them have the headsets.
All right.
Let's do that. And we'll keep one headset over here. We'll keep that over here. All right, guys, we're going to switch this up. Mr. Davis, you sir. And we'll take that headset over there. Mark, and we'll speak into that.
and this is Boris, this big hand. I can't hear you.
All right, guys.
This is different.
We'll talk to this thing in the mic.
Can y'all hear me through this mic?
Nope.
Okay, so that's probably the issue right there. Y'all talk through that right there. I'm gonna get some batteries for that.
Okay.
And you guys can talk to that headset there.
So do we want to start the interview over since nobody can hear them? What are you doing?
I want you to be able to hear me. 'Cause I
Oh.
have a question.
Okay. Here, we'll share this mic.
If you guys could go back, there's probably a lot of things you've changed. But what's one thing sticks in your mind that you've changed about you growing up playing football?
Wow. That we would change?
That you would change, yeah.
Well, myself, I would have tried a little harder.
Preparation, how, because if we know now and everything that's come about, the off-season program, because we played basketball and baseball, Chris played baseball, it's probably just the preparation. We lifted weights during the off-season, but it's not a 4-month season. It's a 12-month season now, and that's what I would probably go back and.
I didn't realize how much I was going to miss it
Oh God, yeah.
when I got out of school.
What advice would you give the boys playing today?
Just try. I mean, whatever your coach tells you to do it more, do it harder, do more reps. Just do all you can.
Well,
What Chris said is, because I've never met anybody that when they got done playing football said, "Man, I wish I'd never played." Just about everybody misses it. They miss it, but it ends. It don't matter who you are. It ends. Unless you're Tom Brady, I guess it don't end. But for everybody else, it ends.
Can y'all hear us now through this mic? Okay, good.
No.
Nope.
I would be trust the process. I mean, these coaches here, Coach Shelton, he didn't win a state championship by not knowing what he's doing out there. Trust the process, and it is a process. And probably what made us such a tight group is the brotherhood. When we trusted each other on the field, we stayed together from 3rd grade on, and try to build that bond, team bond. It goes a long way.
You're as a senior, looking back as a senior, what advice would you, if you could go back now and give advice to the younger kids, your 10th graders, 11th graders, as a senior, what would you tell them?
I think the biggest thing we had was we trusted each other. I didn't have to wonder whether he was trying hard or he was trying hard. And he mentioned Chad Jordan. I believe Chad was normally the linebacker behind me on my side from defensive end. I remember telling him one time that gave me such comfort because I knew I could take chances, and I knew he'd clean it up. I knew that. But Blake Doddett knows me. You didn't have to worry about much there at all. But everybody, you trusted everybody out there, but to be fair, I think I did. I trusted our underclassmen too, but I think I don't know. There was just there was a lot of trust on the field. You didn't have to wonder if somebody else was playing hard or if somebody else was going to do their job. They were.
We were blessed with a great underclassmen,
Yes.
sophomores. We had 3 that played tailback that year for us. Brandy Brown started on defense. Of course, everybody knows Larry Hollis, Doug Reed, and Shane Taylor. Those guys, and they stepped up as sophomores and started and played for us, and it was big. As a sophomore now, you can contribute to a team. You don't have to be a senior to contribute. You can step right in and contribute as a sophomore, and that's another big thing.
Y'all hear me on this now?
Yes, sir.
That's you said it right there, Jeremy. I've heard a lot of schools, not a lot, but I've heard a few school coaches say, "I'm not playing him. He's a sophomore." Y'all had some good sophomores.
We had.
Y'all were good as sophomores. All three of y'all was good sophomores.
There was 9 of us from 3rd grade or from kindergarten on that graduated together. But we had the junior class when we were seniors was a small group. Was Brad
was a sophomore.
Brad was a sophomore. But Brad was another guy. I mean, that kid was strong, and we would beat on him in practice and try to make him, and he never would give up.
He could take it, couldn't he?
And he turned out to be. His son's playing now, and his son looks. That's when I look out there, I think that's Brad Davis because they look identical, and they're stocky and tough. And
another question I got for each one of y'all: what is your most exciting Corning sporting event you've ever witnessed or been a part of?
Golly, man, I got to go for it. Rice Bowl last year, man.
That's right, man.
I was.
You got one, Chris?
Well, I was going to say for me the most memorable game was when we beat Pocahontas on homecoming.
Yeah,
I remember that.
There was about 4,000, 4 or 5,000 people there.
I think the whole town of Corning was there.
It was a battle. But our senior year, I think we ended up playing in 5 homecomings. I don't know why people schedule us for the homecomings because
I guess they wanted to get beat. They wanted to beat down.
But we played Highland over there the week before Pocahontas. We didn't score a lot of. We weren't going to put up 40 points on you, but you weren't going to score on our defense either. I think we averaged about 5 points a game given up our senior year.
Jeez.
But
we didn't put up a lot either.
We didn't. No.
Hey, that means you only need 1 touchdown to win the game.
I think it was around 20 points a game. We didn't
East
put
Prairie,
a
that's
lot
what
of
it wasn't. East Prairie 7-0.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But the good thing I was going to say, our defense, we didn't give up a touchdown. First team touchdown until the 7th game of the season.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
Well, that's just back the way it used to be. I mean, whatever's changed has changed, but you didn't see 42 to 38 ball games back then. It was 14-6, and that was just that's what it was.
I assume now it was the same back then as it was today, and when I played. But did you guys all play both ways?
Oh, heck,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Davis was a tight end. You knew we were throwing a pass when we called a timeout because we sprayed Davis's hands with stickum.
There you go.
There you go. I got the idea from the replacements from Jim Davis.
That's what it was. That's exactly.
He was a defensive end, but a lot of people probably don't remember. This guy was a punter, and he changed field position big time on the big games. I mean, you average 40 yards a punt. This dude could punt the football, and that was big time when you played 13-7, 14-7 ball games.
Jim Golden Leg Davis. That sounds good, don't it?
Yes, it does.
We'll bring it up tonight. So, Great White Shadow was the son, and Golden Leg Davis was his dad.
What we'll do if we punt and not a very good punt, man, I wish we had Golden Leg Davis.
There will never be another. We'll get a statue one day of him punting out in front there at Bobcat Stadium.
And I got to play, and quarterback back then anybody could play quarterback for us. You hand the ball off and block. I was basically a fullback handing the ball off as I blocked back then. And we had a 5-2 defense. I played rover. Chris, you played guard and DN, wouldn't you? Or
defensive
tackle?
end and right tackle.
Right tackle.
Well, I'll say this though about a quarterback like you, though. I mean, how many quarterbacks, the kind of the pretty boys, the sunshines, how many of them are wanting to lead? How many of them want to lead block into a hole?
Long hair like
You did just call him a pretty boy. I like it. But
I enjoy blocking.
There was a design play, and you might remember that they may have done the same thing with you, where Jeremy turns and pitches the ball and lead blocks off that pitch. This guy getting out front, that's an extra big boy block.
Davis, leave the piano alone.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I just did y'all have like our normal dead T type of formations on offense? Okay.
Well, you didn't see us split out.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have any split out.
So two tight ends at dead
we
T.
ran 42, 28 sweep, and we would tell we were bad. We would tell them when we were beating them bad. We'd tell them what play we were about to run.
34 trap.
But our
We
trap,
run on the first play.
Scotty Manette, who's no longer with us, broke his ankle against Highland right at the end of the game, but he had over 1,500 yards running fullback, 34 trap. And he only weighed, 160 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
he was small.
He could fly. But our line that trap was, they didn't see it coming. I mean, it was tough.
That's awesome, man, right there.
Well, you had Kurt Young leading the trap.
We should have got him on here.
Yeah, we should have. I'd say because that's the kind of stuff I agree. Is that what y'all ran back when you played Bart?
I don't remember what we ran. I was a guard. I just blocked.
Yes, he was the same. They ran wing tee back then.
That's what I like because it seemed like we all, I don't know about you guys, but when, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, we all had the same, same formations, and they just kind of 5 plays, whatever it was, kind of like the old Coach Campbell, just etch it into your brain, and it's all about execution,
Every now and then, everybody would sneak up, and we'd throw a halfback pass, but our passes were hot passes. We didn't, every now and then we'd throw
I think Jeremy's the inventor of the Statue of Liberty play.
Oh, wow.
We did against Pocahontas.
Y'all ran that? Really?
No, Pocahontas.
Yep.
7-7 ball game, like 4 minutes to go. We ran a hook and lateral. Did he pitch it to you?
No, you talking about
You
what?
pitched it to Kurt.
I pitched
the
it to
hook
Kurt.
and lateral. 4th down.
That's the Jim Page play, right?
Page got it too one year, but we ended up getting 2 4th down conversions on that drive, and Kurt got our way down to like the 9-yard line. It was beautiful.
Well, the one on Jeff's, they had to bring oxygen out on the field.
Jeff Page made it to the goal line.
He stopped. He quit running. He was done.
I think you tossed it to him about the 50.
I don't know.
Craig Beck was over at the concession stand getting some popcorn. He threw it down, and he ran Page down, tapped him before he got to the end zone. That kid was fast.
Yeah.
What was y'all's off season like in your workout program? I'm assuming you guys had 2-a-days as well, right?
Yeah.
That was a given in Corning back then, man.
Well, a lot of the off season, those guys were working out. Me and Jim played basketball. We took the football. We took the football from the field to the courts. We were pretty rough basketball team back in the day.
We usually fouled out a lot the first 2 or 3 weeks.
They're the original Sash brothers.
So we had fun, but they had a good. I mean, we worked out as well, but you guys know, and you too. Dick Walsh Junior High. That's where it all started in the workout.
Exactly.
I mean, we won one ball game our 7th grade year. We were terrible. We didn't know how to put our helmet on, our pants, and then after that 7th grade, we were talking about it last night. After that 7th grade off season, with them cinder blocks and homemade benches and lifting,
Our tractor tires, we were rolling those around.
That we had to pull them. We had a
That's right,
rope
you had a harness.
with harness made out of duct tape that we had to pull up and down the field.
Hey, y'all were talking about the Pee Wee program that Jim had helped start. I just want to thank you, Jim, because my boy, I had to make play football in the 6th grade, and you and Wes Couch were the coaches, and you didn't just drive it down his throat that he had to be the best out there, but as long as he gave his best, and that meant a lot to me because I didn't think he was going to play the next year. And, he was a timid kid.
He's grown out of that.
He's grown a little bit out of that. He's kind of big now, but I appreciate that program really helping the football team out around here because it gives the younger kids a chance to say if this is something they really want to do.
But for what's worth, thank you. But that was not a one guy. That was, Tony Hudson was right out the gate out there helping me. I mean, he was involved as I was. And just out the gate, Jed Daniels was a big part of it for 10 years. Josh Jensen done, and I couldn't name everybody. That was a very collectively a lot of people hands-on helping get that going. So,
but it's taking the initiative. Me and Andy have talked about that before. A lot of people have ideas, but they won't take the initiative to get them started.
Right. Yep.
So,
Jeremy, what he said a while ago, he said when they got 7th grade, he said we didn't know how to put on our helmets or our pads. Or pants, that this Pee Wee program that gets them prepared for high school. I mean, at least going into 7th grade, they know the X's and O's, and pretty much know where they're supposed to be and stuff like that. So it's a great program.
It saves the coaches time where they could get to the fundamentals of football and the plays they want to run instead of having to teach them all that. I mean, we didn't know how to put anything on.
Would y'all like to hear a West Couch story?
Yes, we sure
Bring
would.
it.
If it's dirt, we want to hear it.
All right, absolutely. We need to hear it.
How about when Jace was in about 3rd or 4th grade? You know, we're getting ready for the first practice. My sister says, Wes, does Jay, you need me to help Jace get suited up? And Wes said, I know how to get my kids suited up. First practice, I got a picture of Jace with his shoulder pads on backwards. I've got it in my phone.
That is awesome. I'm so glad you said that.
About that?
That's my sister in West. But yeah, she's got a picture of shoulder pads on backwards.
Coach Couch, if I ever get ragged about something, I'm so bringing that up now. I have ammo now. Thank you. I needed that. That is awesome. All right, so each team that I've ever been on always had that one guy that was kind of like the class clown, the cut-up guy. Who was that in y'all's grade?
Blake Dodd.
Blake Dodd. That's a quick answer.
That's safe.
Yeah,
I think
we were all quiet.
Yeah.
We were quiet.
We had one too, and because of him, we had to do some duck walks and what was it bear crawls? Is that what they call it? Did y'all do those too?
Coach Duncan, that's all we had to do was bear crawls and Coach Duncan. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We've had a few of those. I don't know if we caught the very beginning of the interview or not, but these guys are from class of 93, and we appreciate them obviously coming on. Hey, Smalls. Hey, Sweetie. Hey, cut that out, babe. Sorry, guys. I got a little.
We're getting
We're
entertained.
going to have to convert him.
What is that?
That's an Ole Miss license plate.
Oh, I just threw it in my mouth. That's disgusting.
Who's got an old
That's one of our new assistant coaches, but he's new. And nobody's perfect, so we'll figure it out. But
You got a screwdriver when we leave? I'll take it.
let's do it. Let's get it. I do have one.
Yes.
He's a sharp dressed man though, coming through
We'll
the.
take it off.
He is now. That's right. What did you just tear up the piano? Anyways, so before you couldn't hear him, how's it going, Connor? Before you couldn't hear him, we were talking about Jeremy had bought his shirt where? At the
You said Baby Gap. I don't know.
Baby Gab. Okay, well, there's a table here so I can say that. And I got you guys here to help me out too. Fresh out of the gym. Fresh out of the
Help
gym.
him out. Yeah, let him happen.
Hey, honestly, he's always been a stocky kid. I mean, he ain't been that big, but he was always a stocky kid.
Jeremy, could you beat Bart in arm wrestling right now?
Probably.
I just wanted to see some confidence. I can't get it out of him though. Gosh.
Hey, I used to be pretty good at arm wrestling. You ain't got to be super strong lifting weights to be arm wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Technique.
Huh?
It's technique.
I'm not saying I can beat you. I'm just saying. Kurt Young was probably the strongest kid on y'all's team. He couldn't arm wrestle worth crap.
Kurt, speaking of, I was going to say Kurt. We mentioned Kurt, but Chris Webb, he lost his mom about 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
So we're thinking about you, Chris. Did I mention everybody? I think another guy we didn't mention. He's no longer with us. Is Stephen Frame. He was a good ball player.
Did you guys have any? And you don't have to come out and say it if you don't want to. It's fine. But did y'all have any off the field shenanigans with say Piggott or anybody at all that? You don't have to tell the story. Statute limitations is over, so that's good.
We really didn't, but this day and age with social media, everybody's friends, and if we were going to Piggott or Walnut Ridge and it wasn't a game, it was probably to fight. We weren't friends with other, and then we weren't. We became friends. We were talking about it, and in Hollywood too. We became friends with a lot of our rivals once we got to college. I mean, we had respect for each other, but in high school, I mean, we weren't friends with other people. They were our enemies, right, Davis?
No,
Have Jeremy tackle her if she plays that piano one more time.
It sounds good.
Hey, me and Jeremy and Jim had a couple off-field shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
If they want to share it with you.
Can we get
The statute of limitations, not sure.
Hey, if they want to tell it, I'm going to let them tell it.
No.
Like I said, I just moved back about 2 years ago, and I want to keep everything on my reputation.
Hey, if we're still doing this show a couple of years down the road, we'll tell about it.
And maybe years down the road.
We'll have to get Jeff Page in here, too, though, when we tell about it, because he was with us.
I love it. Do you guys get to many games now? Obviously, you got family lives, all that stuff, right? But do you get to many Bobcat games nowadays?
Yeah, I have a nephew, Eli Mason. So I try to support him. Basketball, baseball. Baseball is too early, man. They play a ball game at 4 o'clock. Most people work.
It's so tough.
I don't know
man.
how y'all get there, but yeah, I try to support him as much as I can, and he's a good ball player. Works hard. Not many people know, but since we got this weight room out here at the community center, we got a lot of football players working out there. They put a lot of time in. I had 2 or 3 out there after practice, Tuesday or Wednesday. They practiced for 2 hours and come out there and worked out. So those guys are putting the work in, I promise you.
Speaking of the gym there at the community center, I've got a son, my stepson Luke.
I've met Luke.
You've helped him out a lot. Now I need you to help me out.
I want you to try talking me to get his haircut.
Get that haircut. There you go. That's it. Get that haircut.
Hey, he's a good kid, man. I really like Luke.
Very respectful kid. I met
He's
him.
next to basketball player.
Well, I can beat him, but he's all right.
You can't beat him.
Yeah, I can.
You be winning after the first layup.
Hey, I'm old and we elbow.
Okay. Hey, both these guys were. You didn't play basketball, did you, Chris?
No.
These two guys are pretty good basketball players.
No.
I was a senior and they was sophomores. A funny story. I used to shoot all the time.
No.
I mean, all the time.
No.
Well, we had an alumni game. Well, Jim was posting up down low, and I faked like I was going to shoot a 3. Well, by the time I went to fake, he turned around, and I was actually going to pass him the ball. And he hit him in the back. He turned around and goes, "Did you pass that?"
Wasn't something that you used to, you passing the ball, huh?
Yeah, that's right. No, I'll admit it.
That's the way I was.
I got the ball
I didn't
shot.
pass the ball. You give me the ball, I'm going. Wasn't going to score, but I was going.
He wasn't passing either. If he crossed half the court and he caught the ball, he was shooting. Hey,
Court shots.
he didn't have to run a full court because he never
That's
passed
right.
the 3-point line. He
Stay
stayed
between the
behind the
3-point lines, man.
That alumni game, I thought we were going to play at the high school, where we played.
Right.
I was 40. Was I 40 when I played in that stupid thing?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I go in, E&D board nagged me to death to play. All he wanted to do was just elbow me because he's big and just rough me up. But anyway, first trip down the court, when I turned and looked at the goal, it was 3/4 miles away. You think I'm playing? And, I mean, one trip and I'm done. I'm gassed, dying. And my wife, thinking it'd be funny, she brought my Pee Wee basketball team I was coach at the time to sit in the crowd and yell at me, "You got to hustle, you got to hustle."
That was great.
I was dying.
We had
dying.
10 guys, and I come up with the idea, hey, we'll play. I think we played halves like college, didn't we? Didn't we play 2 20-minute halves?
I don't know, Bart.
I said, guys,
It was that.
that was mine.
Oh my God.
And I said, we'll play 5 minutes, and then the other sub. And somebody looked at me and excuse my language. Who in the hell decided we're going to play 5 minutes at a time? It should have been 2 minutes at a time.
It's probably
I think it was Jim.
probably me. A minute and a half would have been fine.
Hey, I tell you what, Jim didn't play a lot with us, but every Sunday and Wednesday, we was up, me and Jeremy and a bunch of other guys, we was up Central playing open gym. I mean, religiously, 2-3 nights a week. Had our own keys, which I don't think the school knew that, but we had our own keys. But we had a lot of fun, man. We did. We had a lot of fun.
We had the community center then, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Back then?
No.
The community center wasn't, when did
Back then.
No, Andy,
No, we didn't
we're
have a
like-
community center.
I'm 49, so that makes them 46, 47.
Our community center was over in Arnold Edition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little League Field.
You know where they built those apartments down there in Arnold Edition?
Lillard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one
Man.
by the water.
Yeah.
That was.
I missed that
They
once.
tore that. That was like Williamsport to us. That place.
Yes. And that was a nice baseball
The
field, man.
dugouts were down in the ground. You stepped down in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Big old press box, and I hate that they tore it down. That was.
Me too. For some reason, 'cause I think Victory Lake was there when I was growing up, but for some reason we played some games out there. 'Cause I remember that.
Yeah, it was
There.
Then they tore the old Babe Ruth field down over by elementary. That's where we played Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, so by the elementary school.
Where you
on the-
pull in now to pick up
behind the
kids in the
pool.
line.
Okay.
That was a baseball field.
Oh, wow.
And if you could hit it in the pole.
You get a good shot down left field line, it went swimming pool.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I'd heard someone say that there was a field over
Jeremy
there.
go after the game and dive over and get my home run balls out.
He found them back over the other fence, the catch fence. But yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I had forgot. I'm glad you brought that little up. When you said that, it hit me. I'm like, man, yeah, that's been gone, I guess, Gosh,
I don't know.
15 years?
Yeah, I was gone for about 25, so I don't know when they tore
Where
the.
they built those apartments down there towards the water tower, that field on the left before you get to Lillard Field, that's where we played football.
Yeah.
It was a bigger lot. It was as big as bigger than the football field.
And then, like I say, we play out here in
Up
this.
about-
Yep, played out here.
By the radio station.
That was our community center. We didn't have a community
Yeah.
center.
But see, that was a cool thing, though. I guess you guys ride bikes or meet up or whatever. And
Rode
Put a
bikes
million
all over
miles
this
on
town.
both
Really?
bicycles.
Me and Jeremy both got a ticket for drag racing down Park Street. We was on our way to play ball at Central Gym, and here he comes and passes me. Well, you know what I'm going to do when somebody tries to pass me. I'm going to gag it. Tom Colbert was a street over, and he pulled us over and gave us both tickets.
That was like I've been getting my graduation money, so I had to use $200-something.
Hey, Gary Garland, bless his heart, he's not here now, but he got us out of those 2 tickets. We had to pay I don't remember what it was, but they reduced it down to like $65. So thank Gary Garland for that.
65, 30-something years ago was a lot
A
of
lot of
a
money.
lot of money. When you're getting $6 an hour.
It was five.
We could dig change out of our ashtrays and have enough gas to cruise around all night.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's what you guys did back in the day then. So not a whole lot different than...
No, we played. There wasn't no playing video games inside.
Yeah, that's-
every weekend. Me and Jeremy, and it's always me and him. But we had guys in the Arnold Edition that played ball with us, and we'd come down here and play. Clay Boland's house. I mean, we was always playing baseball, basketball, football somewhere. There wasn't no,
Yeah, no
video
electronics.
games. Then we go over to Chris Webb's and take naps on his couch.
Thanks, Chris. Chris is about like, who are these
He
people?
lived down there by Lillard Field.
Right.
So we was at his house a lot. Jeremy lived just right down the street, and then I had a great grandmother that lived a couple blocks over from Jeremy. So I mean, we was always doing something.
We may have caught this earlier, we may not have. So I'm going to ask you again, just in case we had the audio difficulties. So, what is y'all's most memorable moment? Whether it's your playing days, I know one of y'all said the Rice Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But what's one of y'all's most memorable moment with Bobcat football?
I already said mine.
What was that? They didn't hear you. That's why we're doing
Oh,
it again,
that's all
Hollywood.
I asked.
We can't remember if y'all had the headsets on or not.
Okay, well, it was beating Pocahontas on their homecoming.
Their homecoming.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Pocahontas obviously bigger town, bigger school. That's I assume Coach Williams was there too. So he's been there
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
so-
his son was a senior that year.
No, Opie was a senior. He was a year ahead of us.
Okay.
But he was still coaching there.
Hey, if you guys could talk to a kid now that isn't playing any sports at all but thinking about it, what's some advice you'd give them?
You don't get to. I mean, clock's ticking. I mean, at some point you don't get to.
Yeah,
do it
once you
again.
graduate high school, it's over.
You know, I mean, I hate to say, you again, once it ends, it ends. You know, but if you've got opportunity to play now, I think there's so many lessons to be learned from sports.
Mhm.
You know, I'm very passionate about that. To me, it's not so much about the winning and losing; it's just the lessons and the camaraderie, the teamwork, and the things you do learn. You know,
You know, when Jim was still farming, I seen him every day, and we always talk about sports. And you can ask him. We both have talked about kids that ain't even out there on the field. That's a good athlete, or maybe better than some of them that need to be out there playing.
Yeah.
And that's it's a waste of talent. Could help out the school, but
Well, I think when you get older, you're going to look back and wish.
oh, absolutely.
Because I wished I'd have played basketball, and I didn't. And I look back and think,
Yeah, you could have passed it to me when I was open for
yeah.
oh, listen.
Mark, you got anything else for him?
No,
Oh, okay. Here's one we always ask. Did y'all have any celebrity crushes growing up?
oh, this is going to be a good one.
Would you check see if my wife's on?
This is back before you met
She
your
is.
wife.
No,
It's
I
okay.
did not. I did not have any celebrity crushes. No.
Seriously?
Absolutely not. No.
Jeremy?
She's watching.
I'm sure I did. I mean,
I can't think of who.
You did have that poster of Michael Jackson on your CD.
He was a Michael Jackson.
I could run with that, but I'm not going to. I
You
could
had the
take that
coat,
and
didn't
run.
you? Didn't you have the red?
No.
No, I'm kidding, man.
I mean, I'm sure I did.
I give him a hard time every time I see him.
I don't know. 30 years. I mean,
That's why he never gets mad. He knows he's expecting it.
I don't know. There's several because, I mean, we liked our girls back in the day. I mean,
What about you, Hollywood? Did you have any celebrity crushes?
I can't think of who it was.
It must not have been too bad of a crew.
I could probably say, the nickname Hollywood, I could probably throw a name out there. But we're not going to do that right now. We'll get to how he got that nickname
Off air.
30 years from now.
If we're all still here.
If we're still here.
Hopefully.
And just want to get to Coach Shelton, you guys, all the coaching staff. Appreciate what you guys have done, bringing them back. I mean, these coaches that we were talking the other day, we can do so much. Just if they will take what they've learned and put it to the field, they're going to have a good season, man. I can tell. Those coaches, they love what they're doing, love the kids, and the kids love the coaching staff, and that's big. Last weekend. When I saw my nephew with this, your sister sent them to me Friday morning, sitting in there eating with their ties on. I mean, that was awesome. Yeah. That was awesome.
They were packed
tradition.
When I come through.
Yeah. Tradition is big, and that was awesome.
If, maybe say one series, if we had an alumni football game and you had a pad up and you had to go one drive, could you guys get it done today?
Yeah, I'll just hand the ball off. It was easy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be coaching.
I was thinking I'd hand the ball off to Jeremy.
No.
I'm coach.
Look, it's all right. I'm not a cardio type of guy, so no, I couldn't do it. I mean, I like to lift weights. It's a good stress reliever, but running is not my thing. And I'm not even going to.
Anybody our age we could get to be the running back? That could run down the field?
I don't know that we're going to suit up a team there.
How about Larry Hollis? I bet Larry Hollis could do it.
Hollis could do it.
Larry Hollis.
Shane
Taylor.
He might still be a little fast, but I don't know if he's as fast as he was in high school.
Who's that?
Shane Mansker.
Shane Taylor was a heck of a running back in the day. Doug Reed.
Doug would try it, I guarantee you.
I bet Larry would still try it, too.
And Larry probably looks like a Greek god still.
He does.
I haven't seen him in a long time. But the kid was always lived. He didn't
Hercules Hollis.
He didn't have any fat on him.
No. Last time I seen him, he had no fat on him.
Yeah,
That's been probably 5 years ago.
Yeah. Great guy.
He does look good now, though, because he's bald-headed.
Oh, good Lord. He swears it's a choice, but I don't think so. Was there a teacher growing up or maybe an administrator in school that you guys want to give a shout-out to that maybe was a favorite teacher or whatever it may be growing up? Or maybe one you gave so much crap to that you want to apologize now?
Well, I probably do. Miss Guthrie and home ec, we probably all need to apologize.
Yeah, it was rough.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one, Chris.
I never had home ec, so I wasn't involved in that one.
We had
the cooking part of it, Jim, so we got to eat, man.
We had some good teachers, great faculty back then. I mean,
Mr. Gatlin was probably one of y'all's favorites, wasn't he?
He was our favorite. We loved taking shots in the trash can. If we missed, we got 2 licks. We loved it. But back then, school was fun for us. Like I say, they supported us. All this faculty, we had great support.
The only bad thing about when we were in high school, we didn't have air conditioners.
That's right.
That's the only bad memory I have of high school.
No AC.
No AC.
Well, we get out at 1 o'clock on days that was 100 plus.
Hot, we got out at 1 o'clock.
Really?
It was miserable.
Wow. Kind of press box last Friday night?
I took 3-4 showers during the day, man. It was horrible.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for spending your time with us today, and I want to thank you guys for continuing to support Corning athletics. Just showing up for the ball games gives a sense to those kids that somebody's still there rooting them on, and we appreciate you guys, especially coming in and talking about the past. We always go, boy, back in my day. Those kids now don't realize what that means. Like you were talking about, you don't get the second opportunity. They're going to be sitting somewhere in 30 years going, well, back in my day, hey, we had cell phones.
30 years, we're all going to be in the nursing home.
Y'all might be.
Playing wheelchair football.
But what y'all do is a big part. I mean, it's enormous, guys. I mean, how many people y'all are reaching that wouldn't have? I called it. I think I texted y'all one time. I got stuck in Stuttgart.
Yep,
and
sure did.
They thought you'd think the Super Bowl was going on in the hotel, because I got to sit there and watch the ball game that I otherwise would have missed. But y'all are reaching so many more people that would not, have any chance to have access to.
When I first started helping Andy, that's one thing that I told him. I said, man, more than anything, I said, what you're doing now lets a lot of, because y'all know as well as I do, a lot of elderly people, they can't make it out to football games. They don't, they're just not able to.
But they'll come turn it on and watch.
By golly, they can sit in their recliner and fix a bowl of popcorn or whatever, and they can watch the whole football game from home, and that's great.
Yeah, and you got a lot of siblings that are going off to college, or they're getting to tune in and watch their younger siblings play sports. So
I bet these kids don't even think about how many coaches and scouts are able to watch this and scout.
We get messages. We really do. It's really cool. And the big thing for us is that the community really rallies behind it and supports it. We're a small community. We had 40 sponsors, that's crazy. Little Rock's not getting that. Fayetteville's not. Greenwood's not getting that. Pine Bluff isn't. You guys support it. Y'all always talk good about us. You're always, helping us on the feeds and stuff. Commenting and sharing. And you guys are all good to us. This community's awesome, man. They say it takes a village. We had an army in Corning, and I appreciate all y'all. I really, really do. And but there's some days it's frustrating. I know Friday night we had some technical issues. It was hotter than a sauna in there, but
high school days.
Yeah, it's awesome. When you have people call you and tell you, like we had one guy, this was actually in Missouri, but he said that him and his wife had split up, and I guess she got custody of the kid, and him and the kid had kind of started growing apart. And he's always on the road. He's a truck driver. And he had called and said, man, now I can watch. Before he said I'd call my son, ask him about the game, he's like, how'd you do? I did good. Well, how many points you score? I think 4. It was real short. And he says, now I can watch the game. I can interact with him. I can say, hey, man, did you see that missed call? And he said, man, it's done wonders. And hearing stuff like that makes it all worth it. It really does. And we can't do it without the support of you guys, everybody in the community, and we just want to say thank you guys for that. I want to personally thank you guys for coming in. You were the first grouping that we've had like this of a class, and I didn't know how that was going to work. You guys handled it really well, like professionals. We were a little nervous about that. No, I'm kidding. No,
He probably said, you got a mute button because Woods doesn't tell what's coming out of Woods' mouth.
Jeremy called me last night on my way back from White River, and he said, I tried to get hold of Andy. He's supposed to holler back at me. He said, what time am I supposed to be there? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, let me call him. Yeah. I said, no, Jeremy, when we get on there tomorrow, I said, you can't say no cuss words. He died laughing. He said, I won't. He said, I won't.
We've actually got a chart of cuss word kind of synonyms, different words and verbiage that Bart can use just to help us out on the stream so he doesn't. So
that's no lie, because I seen him in the press box last night.
Great googly moogly. There were several of them that were trying to keep us on the air, essentially. So, but
we never said anything that bad on the air.
No, but Adam did take his shirt off and waved it around on camera one night, though.
He was up on the table helicoptering,
Yeah, we've done some things that we regret, but nobody's perfect, I guess.
I'll say one thing. Okay. I know last year, me and Andy, he said every state has watched our footage, football games. He said the only state that hadn't got on was Maine. And was it the Pickett game?
It was the last game.
The last game of the year, we had somebody sign in on there from Maine.
No kidding.
So every state has seen CSR football.
That's awesome.
It's been neat, man. It's 31 countries, 50 states. It's been a blessing, but it's because of folks like you guys. We appreciate y'all, and obviously appreciate y'all's hard work back in the day. Obviously had some very successful seasons, and not only we are great players, but now you're great men, and we really appreciate that. And thanks you guys for coming on. Do you have anything else you want to say before we get off here? Anything that you want to throw out there, any shout-outs or anything of that nature?
We hope the Bobcats win tonight.
Yeah,
Good luck
tonight.
Absolutely.
Everybody stay safe on the trip going over and coming back. I was going to plug my jobs because I need as much. We need business. Clay County Connect.
Are you serious?
Hey, you guys, if you hadn't switched over the internet to us, what are you waiting on is all I got to say. Fiber
They are the best.
All the cool kids are doing it.
870-202-1990.
Everybody make sure and tune in to CSR tonight for Corning versus Cross County.
That's right. Guys, that's been the class of 1993 here on Good Morning Corning. We'll be right back at these words from our sponsor. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton.
Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of Red Tailor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin.
And we're back here live. Good morning, Corning on KBKG, More Music 93.5, episode number 2. We're here at the station headquarters here in Corning, Arkansas. Beautiful, crime-free Corning, Arkansas. God's country, as we like to call it. Bart is taking over here on the babysitting duties, and I certainly appreciate it. She looked at Mark and then turned the other way. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Again, I appreciate my co-hosts, Bart White and Mark Hufford. We have got a new guest on here. Excited about this one. And speaking of new, he's a new assistant coach here at Corning for the football
Finally,
team.
we got him away from Piggott.
Yes. That's the most important
we got
thing.
Him back. We got him back.
We won't talk about that, though. We won't put him on the spot about that.
The nicely dressed, ever cool Mr. Connor Daniels. Connor, tell us a little bit about yourself for those that may not know you.
This is my second year starting coaching. Started last year at Piggott. I could thank Coach Harrell over there for giving me that opportunity. As soon as I was in college at the time, and he asked me if I planned on still coaching. He had heard that I had planned on coaching, and I said, yes, sir. That's what I've kind of always pictured myself doing. And he said, well, your last semester, he said, you can come over after you get out of class and we'll give you an internship, kind of, nothing paid or anything, just, getting the experience of coaching, kind of getting your feet wet and see how you like it. And after I had a great experience doing that, and then, after that, I graduated college and opportunity kind of opened itself up and got my feet started there. And then opportunity I saw that came here. Sure. And I took advantage of it. I'm glad to be back at Corning. Glad to be Bobcat.
Awesome. Now, for those that don't know, tell us where you grew up at and what year you graduated.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Mississippi. Me and my family are.
Okay.
Grew up in a little town called Pontotoc, Mississippi. It's about the size of Pocahontas.
Okay.
And so most people don't know where Pontotoc is.
I never heard of it until you told me that before.
Right. It's in between. Well, usually when people ask, I tell them it's usually in between Oxford and Tupelo, and they usually know where Oxford and Tupelo is at.
Sure.
Yes, it's pretty much dead center between Oxford and Tupelo. Went to school there. Went to a school called South Pontotoc, and grew up there. Went there I went to South Pontotoc from K through 5th, and then Christmas break of my 5th grade year, moved to South Mississippi, around the Hattiesburg area, and went there from half of 5th grade to half of 8th grade, and then 8th grade moved back to South Pontotoc, went there for half of 8th grade, and then the summer before my 9th grade year, moved to Corning, Arkansas.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Now, let me ask you this. When did you know, I know you said Coach Harrell had come to you, but when did you know that hey, this is what I want to do? I want to be a coach.
I had always kind of had it in the back of my mind. That's kind of what I wanted to do. My dad started me off real young, loving football, and I just, man, he got me a little bitty, in which, I'm from Mississippi, so I'm an Ole Miss fan.
We know. We saw.
We won't hold that against you.
That's right.
We were going to take your license plate off before you left, but
I think Jeremy's out there doing it now.
I think he is. Yeah, we're going to put a Razorback on there, but yeah.
But when I was little bitty, he got me one of those plastic Ole Miss helmets with the jersey and everything.
Sure.
And man, he'd get out there with me and throw the ball around and teaching me how to take handoffs.
Yeah.
And man, I just picked it up and ran with it. I've loved the game of football ever since. And it's always been in the back of my mind. I actually went to college to do something different. I ended up changing my degree plan 3 times. I first started off as going to be a flight nurse, and then I changed to physical therapist, and then I finally was like, you know what, I think that God has in store for me. I think he wants to be a football coach. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that happens a lot.
Yes, sir.
When you're young, you have ideas, but there's so much out there you're not even aware of, and I think life just takes you, and I think you just got to go. You got to follow that road and trust the process. And you had mentioned your dad. Now, didn't your dad coached for a few years, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He has.
Does he love football more than you?
Whew. Man, I mean, I think I adopted that love of football from him, but man, it's deep with him. I would say that I love it, but my dad is a hardcore football person. I tell you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. All the kids that played for him in Pee Wee,
yes, sir.
I've heard nothing but good. And I know your dad, and
right.
he's a great
yes,
man.
Yeah.
Heard nothing but good things about him.
Yes, sir.
Now, Connor, what position did you play back in the day?
Well, are we talking about high school?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
High school, I played inside linebacker and running back.
Very nice.
Yes,
very
sir.
nice.
Yes,
yeah. So you obviously had to be very physical if you're going to do that.
Oh, I loved contact.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Now you obviously this is your first year. Tell me your thoughts on Coach Shelton. Not only as a coach, but as a friend.
Right. Man, Coach Shelton is one of the most gifted-minded football men I've ever met. He is a fantastic person, not just when it comes to the X's and O's, but just as a person. Me and him have sat down and had several conversations just to talk with him. It's as easy as going to sleep when you're tired. He's just a great man to get along with and a phenomenal person. He has a great family. I get along with his son well, his wife. I've only met a few times, but she's just as sweet as she can be.
Yes, she is.
And he is a great, outstanding man. Sure is.
I've said this 100 times. I love his enthusiasm, man.
Oh, he does. He has wonderful enthusiasm, man.
High energy.
I mean, you can tell that God intended for him to be a football coach.
Yep.
He really did. He really did.
He's proved himself for sure.
Absolutely, he has. And man, the kids love him. They eat him up. He loves the sport. He loves the kids. He, like you said, his enthusiasm. You can tell how much he really truly cares and his passion for the game and for the kids.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Connor, let's talk about your playing days.
Yes, sir.
Is there a game that sticks out to you that just will always be a fond memory?
Oh, man. For some reason, in which we beat them my freshman year, and that was the only year we ended up beating them. But playing Osceola was always fun. I don't know why, but that was always a fun game. I loved playing Osceola. Piggott was always a fun game.
Sure.
Like I also with them, beat them my freshman year. And
there you go.
After that, we didn't ended up not coming on the good side of coming on the win side of things after that. But man, Piggott and Osceola, those are always really fun games. Those always were for some reason.
Andy mentioned the losing streak we had.
Yes, sir.
And that is a bad deal. But man, there's a lot of games that we were in.
Absolutely.
Through all those. It wasn't that we just went in 42 times in a row or whatever and just got blowed out.
No,
there
sir.
was games. I mean, we just almost won.
Right.
It wasn't that we were. I mean, we weren't a bad team. We just.
You're right.
We played some good ball games, and we had a few games we should have won, but we didn't. But when you reflect to that record, it's not like that we wasn't any good at all.
No,
we had some good football teams, some good athletes. Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did.
I mean, my senior class, we had Cole Haywood, Cope Robinson, Gordo Gonzalez, Jacob Ward. There's several names that comes to the top of my head. Drew Radcliffe, he's a new teacher and coach here at Corning, and that was his first year playing. Was my senior year. I tried talking to him every single year into playing, and he'd always say he's going to, and then he ended up backing out the last minute. And he's been my best friend ever since 9th grade. And finally, I was like, man, it's our senior year. You have to play football. You're gonna regret it if you don't.
Bingo.
And he's always been a baseball guy. And me and him made a deal. I said, well, dude, I'll tell you what, if you play football, because I always ran track and did weightlifting and stuff like that during the off season. So I said, I'll tell you what. I said, if you come out for football your senior year, I said, I'll play baseball.
Yeah.
And so we made that deal, and we both kept true to it and loved both sports.
Did you play a role in getting Coach Radcliffe over here, too? Did you have any little
Actually,
or vice versa?
So, funny story there. I honestly, in all intents and purposes, I didn't hear about the Corning job opening up yet. So I was, still set on being at Piggott for a while anyways. And he texted me, said, I wanted to let you know as your best friend. He said, I wanted you to be one of the first ones to know that I've been talking and I got an interview coming up at Corning. And he said, I plan on hopefully going over there. If not, Piggott's just fine. He said, but I hopefully land over there. And he said, you do know there's a football opening, right? And he said, I'd like for you to come over with me if that's something you'd be interested in. And I had no idea. I said, well, shoot, heck yeah, that'd be nice to land a spot back home. So he actually told me about the job opening. So I went over there and interviewed and got to work things out.
That's awesome. Who did you play for here whenever you played? Who was your coach then?
So freshman year was Coach Thomas and Coach Killebrew. And then they were the junior high coaches at the time. And then my sophomore year was Coach Spear.
Okay.
And then junior and senior year was Coach Stout.
I don't guess I remember Coach Thomas. What do you remember, Coach Thomas?
Is he the one that had the surgery?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Caleb.
Yes, Caleb
Thomas. He was a good dude.
Okay. How long was he here?
Was he about 4 or 5 years, maybe?
About 4 or 5.
My kids had him in class and loved him.
Really?
Okay. He was a great man too. Outstanding man.
Yeah, a super nice guy.
I'm glad you said that, outstanding man, because Connor, I've obviously dealt with you some other things before, but every time I've dealt with you, you've always been extremely professional. You've always been extremely well-mannered, and I just want to say that comes across, and people notice that, whether you realize it or not. Whenever I started this radio show, I wanted people on here, and I was going through. Obviously, I wanted all the new assistants if I could, and I'm like, man, when Connor gets here, I mean, he's going to be very professional on the radio. He's going to be perfect for this. And
I appreciate that.
Because you always have been, towards me or anybody that I've seen you around and talking to. And
yes, sir.
I don't know if Dad's to get the credit for that, or Mom or who, but
both of them. Both of them. They wouldn't, growing up, in their house, they wouldn't have it any other way. That was one of Dad's biggest deals was, He had zero tolerance for disrespect, and that's kind of what I try to instill with my teaching and coaching too, the best I can, anyways. Because there's certain limits that you can't cross. But
and you're right, what you just said. A lot of the disrespect and respect comes from your parents.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Teaching, and I've said the same thing about him to my wife. I said, that's the nicest young man that I've ever been.
Yeah,
around.
I mean, and not only that, but positive. We've talked about other things before, and you always find a way to spin it to a positive. Instead of harping on the negatives and stuff, and I like that.
Yes,
and I think kids like these kids that just showed up here, I think they need that. I think they need a coach that's like that.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you of the staff, you're one of the younger ones.
Yes, sir.
I want to know. We had Coach Poe in here. I know he listened to all kinds of different music. He claimed. What does Coach Shelton listen to? Do y'all ever hear him jamming anything?
Honestly, I'm trying to recollect the time. I really don't think so. I mean, we played some music at practice, to get the kids going, get the energy and the blood flowing. But as far as just knowing what Coach Shelton listens to on his off time, I really can't.
I was hoping we'd figured it out because I don't think he answered that today either.
Yeah, I really can't. I can't recall. No, I don't think I know.
We need to. If they don't listen to it, we need to introduce them to Metallica.
Yeah, I see Coach being like a classic country guy. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
We should have asked him that.
I think we did, and he just kind of just deflected, like the Kim Matoma, just swatted it. No, just swatted it out of here and went a different avenue. That's why I was asking him. So
I wouldn't have a clue. I'm sorry. I wish I could give y'all an answer for that one.
So who's in charge of that music? Is that you, or is that?
No, I think Coach Poe, and then also a bunch of the kids come up with the playlist.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Sir.
Be careful with these kids now.
I know it.
I'll tell you a quick story about this. It has nothing to do with football, but my senior year in basketball, Coach Scott Wright was the coach then. My kids are going nuts back there. Y'all just ignore them. I'm a great parent, by the way. Anyways, Scott Wright was our coach, and he said, all right, guys, it's your senior year. You've done a lot in the offseason. I'm going to let you guys pick your own run-out music. I was like, oh, man. So we got together, and I don't even remember what we picked now. He says, as long as nobody complains, as long as there's nothing bad, blah, blah. Well, we got through half of a game, and some old fart out there went yelling at the coach saying, I can't believe you let them have that blah, blah, blah over there. So the next game, this is not a lie, the next home game, we came out to Merle Haggard and Conway Twitty.
Oh, good.
When we first come out, it was, hello, darling. Nice to see you.
I just got a text message said Coach Shelton likes Old Rock.
Old Rock, there we
Rock.
go. Okay.
I can see that. I can see him
headbanging. The hair won't be doing anything, obviously, but yeah, I can see him headbanging there a little bit. So
he may like Metallica.
Hey, Coach Connor.
Yes, sir.
This is your first year back at Corning.
Yes, sir.
Going forward, looking at the younger group you got coming up, there's been a lot of talk about the 7th grade. What's your take on that 7th grade?
Man, that 7th grade group, they're a scrappy bunch of kids. I'm telling you, they work hard, they listen. That's one of the things that really stands out to me is they listen. They really do. I mean, there's hardly ever a time in practice where you have to repeat yourself. I mean, they listen, they pay attention. They're very, very coachable. They're just a good group of kids. Me and my dad had the privilege of coaching a bunch of those kids in Pee Wee too. So I already knew a bunch of them. Coming up, Nate Jansen and Dawson Leach and Christopher Scroggin, and there's a bunch of them that already knew and was familiar with, and that's like I said, that's a great special group of kids. I think they're going to be a blessing to coach whenever they get up in senior high.
What is their football IQ like at that age?
Actually, for a lot, they you can't say this for a lot of 7th graders, but for theirs, I think their football IQ is pretty high. I mean, they, a lot of like last night and when we beat EPC last week, I noticed that TJ Small, at running back, there was a couple of plays where he made some jump cuts and bounced it out. When it was intended to be an inside run, he bounced it out, and I'm just like, man, a lot of 7th graders, especially around here, that's not a play that they normally make.
Right.
Yeah.
And, just last night, I'm trying to think of his name now. It's didn't come off the top of my head. Kendon McCollum. He made almost a pick six. He didn't quite have the wheels for it, but he made a really long interception last night that, he read the play like a book. I mean, he was out there right where he needs to be, right where he was coached to be, and he made an excellent play on the ball. And I'm just like, I think that's a great special group of kids. I think they do have a very high football IQ.
We talked to Jim and Jeremy and Chris a while ago,
yes,
and that's what we reflected on the Pee Wee program. Jeremy said, man, when we got 7th grade, he said, we didn't know how to put our helmets on. We didn't know how to put our pants on.
Absolutely.
The Pee Wee program helps get a lot of these boys prepared for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said, you can contribute to some of that, them knowing what to do from just playing Pee Wee, being familiar with football and playing Pee Wee. Pee Wee football.
Absolutely. I think some of your most successful and best programs, you got to start from Pee Wee. You got to start at a small age.
Right.
I mean, this kid over here, Landon Lucas, I remember coaching him in Pee Wees. I mean, if you don't, like I said, there's so many, and especially since they started it from way back, it's done took off. But kids who don't start at a young age like that, they're so far behind.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell the difference.
Absolutely, you can tell. Absolutely. I mean, it goes unnoticeable. You see in a kid that's just starting in 7th grade compared to a kid that started in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. That they've already, especially along the contact side of, they've already experienced that hitting. And then, when you get up to 7th grade and you haven't noticed that yet, you can really tell the difference between, a kid who's, never experienced that before. They can tend to be kind of timid, and those who've already know what it's like, and they know that helmet and that face mask and these pads are there for a reason. They're going to protect me, and I'm not going to get hurt. It's so.
Take me through a game week for an assistant coach on this staff. Starting early in the week there, or do you have certain responsibilities for scouting a certain team? Take me through all that, if you don't mind.
Well, when I first got hired, along in the spring, I worked with them in the spring, and Coach Shelton kind of gave me a layout and overview of kind of how things are going to go, and I said, okay, that's that sounds good. And then we started summer, and started summer workouts, started summer off, training and stuff, And that's when we kind of had a coaches meeting. We had our first coaches meeting. He kind of laid out how everybody's, all the assistant coaches' responsibilities that they're going to have as far as scouting other team and scouting other opponents. And, man, I'm telling you, during the summer, I was already scouting cross county. He signed us during the summer. He assigned, Coach Kyle a certain team to scout, Coach Bo a certain team to scout, Coach Barrages a certain team to scout. So, I mean, our first couple of games, our first 4 or 5 games, we already kind of know and have an idea of what the other team is going to look like, going to be.
Right.
And, man, he, like I said, he's real good, real professional about giving us different responsibilities and to scout the other team and get their tendencies and everything. So
we've asked everybody that has come through. It's Bart's favorite question.
Okay.
Did you have a celebrity crush growing up?
He's still growing up. So do you now have a celebrity crush?
There's several, honestly. I mean, goodness gracious. Jennifer Aniston's a classic. Jennifer Aniston.
Good choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rachel McAdams, really, really, really pretty woman. I don't know. I mean, there's tons of them that's racing through my head right now, but I mean,
what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a little bit of everything, really. I mean, I listen to some country. I'm not gonna lie. I don't listen to like super old country.
Right.
But like my favorite kind of country is like 80s, 90s, like George Strait and Garth Brooks and Randy Travis. That's my kind
Andy
of country.
Earls. Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
I listen a little bit of everything country. I listen to some. I like 70s, 80s rock bands.
Right.
Def Leppard and all them. So.
Journey, REO Speedway.
Yes, sir.
And a bunch of good ones.
Absolutely.
Who was a role model for you growing up?
I can answer that before he does. His dad.
Yeah.
Well, he was a big one. He was a big one for sure. I think as far as when I got to Corning and just like the teachers and coaches that I had, y'all remember Mr. Patty? Mr. Patty was,
I played golf with Mr. Patty.
He was one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. He was a fantastic man. Me and him would stay after class, and I would almost be late to my next class just because me and him would have conversations we could just talk for days.
Right.
He was a wonderful man.
He's a good golfer too.
Wonderful math teacher. I don't know if you ever had him for math, but man, he was a math guru. That dude.
I'm probably about as old as him, so I probably never had him for math.
I didn't figure you did, but I'm talking just to anybody out there.
Don't give him any credit. He ain't that young. Come on.
Anybody out there that
if
they had Mr. Patty, it was a truly a blessing to learn from him and be around him. He was a wonderful.
He's not
man.
still teaching here, is he?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. He retired a couple years ago.
That's
He actually, he might be. I know he went to. I want to say it was Naileyville, maybe, or Naylor.
I think he lives up there on the left where you get on the hill.
Yeah.
Going up. Yeah.
I think he went over there after he left from Corning and went over there. And I don't know I'm not sure if he's still teaching or not, but.
That's awesome. I like that. So, obviously, last week didn't go how we wanted it to.
No, sir.
In your eyes this week, as far as practice and everything this week, has it been a good practice and the kids kind of bounced back and responded?
Yeah, I think we've had a good practice. I think we tried to keep a high energy, high positive energy. I mean, it's just like in a game. Stuff's going to go wrong, and you just can't harp on that. You got to have a short memory, and you just got to keep moving forward and, saying, well, the next play I'm going to do better. The next play I'm going to do better. I might have done this wrong. Know and realize what you did wrong and try to correct it. And I think I would say that we've had a pretty good practice this week.
Right.
I like on what you said just there. When you make a mistake, don't dwell on it.
Yes, sir.
Just
learn
move
from
on
it.
and learn from it and move on.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, the team takes that loss last week, learned what they need to improve on, and we see a change tonight. When they travel, it's pretty good travel. But
yes, sir.
Let's talk about traveling. Do you ride the bus with them?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you hold your nose all the way back?
Boy, sometimes you want to. Sometimes we normally take a air conditioned bus. So it ain't as bad, but every once in a while it'll kind of.
He might have been talking about the gassy ones too, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure. Hey, the kids have that too, especially before we, those pregame meals, those churches and those wonderful ladies prepare for us. Man, it tends to have a backfire.
What did I miss? What did I run into?
Oh man,
they was asking if. I travel with the kids on the bus, and if I have to hold my nose every once in a while.
I leave you guys alone for like a minute, and this whole professional radio show just goes a quick turn
It
right.
had something to do with football.
Okay. All right.
Come on, Andy.
Gosh. Let's ask him what cologne he's wearing for
What kind of
crying out
cologne you got on?
I think it's called Versace Eros.
Yep.
Versace Eros.
Andy, you
If
wearing
we win,
cologne?
if we, I was to say if we win to, I may have forgot. Sorry. If we win tonight, we're all gonna wear that.
I've wore it before.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. You have some now?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I got on Sauvage.
Well, if so, what?
Sauvage.
You made that up.
No, I didn't. You don't
Oh,
wear
it's yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Depp's one does the commercials for it.
Okay. All right. I got some kind of like cheap $10 Adidas stuff.
I'm still using
I
stuff.
used to wear Adidas. Oh my God!
Wife loves
Do
it,
you
so-
really?
Still got Stetson.
Or what about black suede from Avon? That's what my dad used to wear.
That's special occasions. I pull that out.
he just takes that weekly magazine and
Do
folds
the
it that little
Stetson
thing.
bottles still look like they always did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still the same.
I'll be dang.
Don't worry about that.
You're the one who brought the clone up, Andy.
Well, it was a joke. I didn't think you were going to ask him.
My God, we're trying to be professional. You want to know what kind of clone the kid's got on? Give him a break.
I need help. I need help. I want to thank you,
Yes, sir.
Coach. I say Coach Connor now. Coach Connor Daniel, I want
Yes,
to thank
sir.
you for being here.
Absolutely.
When I asked him this week, it was just,
I bet no, he said yes, sir. He didn't say yes.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Yeah, what time do I need to be there? I mean, so I've always appreciated you and I respect you. Sharp dressed man today. Obviously, you can see on the screen there. I love that we've got that back. That's awesome. And listen, man, if there's ever anything we can do for you, let us know. If you ever want to do an interview anytime, pregame, after game, whatever, just holler at us because
Yes, sir.
we really like you. And we like to keep you here at Corning. Don't stray back over to Piggott now. We got you. We're going to keep
Hey,
you.
we're joking with you about that. You got to start somewhere, and you,
Yes,
you
sir.
did the right thing.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
totally
Just
agree.
That was just a
yourselves.
stepping
What God
stone for
had
you to
planned
get back
for
to
you.
Corning. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Absolutely. Folks, that's been new assistant coach, Connor Daniels. We sure do appreciate having him on. Guys, we got to take a break.
Take
Take a
your dad
break.
Say hello.
We got to take a break, and we'll be right back at these words from our sponsors. Red Taylor Ford, your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in. And we are live here at KBKG, More Music 93.5 headquarters here in Corning, Arkansas. Big thanks to Jim Atkins for allowing us to do this, for allowing us to use this building, taking away his airtime, his advertising time, his radio music time. So big thank you to Mr. Jim Atkins for that. I didn't say that earlier. I meant to do that. You're supposed to remind me of that, but
You didn't tell me to remind you. I would have reminded you.
I have great co-hosts. Great co-hosts. They're just the best. They're the best.
We don't have to come back, do we?
No, we do well for what we're paid.
That's
I
right.
want to tell you something. I would have struggled today with the kiddos here if you guys weren't here, so I really do appreciate it.
Nah,
But
it's fine.
Bart White, Mark Hufford here with me. And our next guest, they're here. They were here on time, which is good.
Yep.
Because if they weren't, we're going to have them do push-ups.
No, we're going to make them run out in the street.
Nice.
In the grass.
In the
wet grass.
Even better. Yes, yes. Our next guest.
I want to introduce them.
Go ahead.
We got senior Landon Lucas, and we got Teen Wolf.
That is awesome.
When he come walking up, I'm thinking, man, he looks like Teen Wolf. Have you ever been called that before?
No.
Hey, here we go.
I'm going to do a little.
Timothy Hufford.
Now, hang on. I'm going to do a little side-by-side picture here, guys, because I want to show everybody. Look at the hair on these two pictures here. Look at the left side. Look at the right.
What hair? I just cut that this morning.
They have got mops on the head. They ought to be young again, man. Oh, to be young again. Thank you guys, seriously, for coming on the show. Anytime you're the first to do something, it's really tough, I know, and you guys are the first players to come on the show, and I know that's not easy, so thank you guys. That's obviously showing leadership, senior leadership there. And I like the ties. I've got to know, though.
Yep, look good, guys.
I've got to know.
Who tied them?
Bingo.
I learned to. My dad kind of showed me how the ropes go, and it was really hard at first, and I eventually had to go to YouTube to see how to do it.
What you do is you take all your ties, go ahead and tie them, and just hang them in the closet, and when you get ready to slip them on, you're done.
What about you, Tim?
I watched a 2-minute YouTube video.
Is YouTube not great?
Sound easy.
Hey, you can learn to do a lot of things on YouTube. That's no joke.
Like be a good co-host. That's right.
That's right.
Just kidding. Timothy's he's so smart. He for those that don't know, Timothy actually helps out with our CSR stuff for basketball season for junior high football. And I tell him something one time, and he's already doing more stuff than I know how to do. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he gets that from his dad.
Miss Hufford,
Aren't you actually?
I told Mark not to lie on live TV, and obviously here we are.
Aren't you actually supposed to be a junior?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's how smart the kid is. They moved him up.
Just to have a little of that,
Yeah. He actually started kindergarten as 3, but they made him stay another year because he hadn't quite learned to read at 3 years old.
Oh Lord, guys! First of all, I want to ask y'all. Obviously, you guys are seniors. Obviously, that's a big deal when it comes to the chemistry of the team, the direction of the team, the attitude of the team. Do y'all take that leadership role, and do y'all really like that, or is that something that it's not really you, but you're just trying to make it work? Is that something you're comfortable with, that leadership role?
You kind of got to adapt to it from your junior year to your senior year, but yeah, us seniors do a pretty good job of getting these underclassmen ready, and because there's a lot of underclassmen playing with us this year, stepping up, playing as sophomores, and I think we're the glue that holds it together, really.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable, stepping up from sophomore, junior year, and into senior year and taking over that role as a leader on the team.
He feels comfortable because he growed 18 inches since last year.
I was going to say, it sure looks like it, man.
Hey, you're not in the screen, man. You need to fix that. You need to be on screen with
it. You got. No, I ain't going to say it. I ain't going to say it. You guys are.
Yeah, you might end up in that bathroom.
You boys, y'all have gone through some coaches also. We've talked about this with everybody else. Y'all have gone through now Coach Shelton. You had Coach Treadway, Coach Mosley. What do you see as an improvement from where y'all started back in 7th grade to your senior year?
Just the little things like Coach Shelton, them talking about scouting these guys even summer before the games even start, getting the tendencies right, watching film, figuring out that film's our really best friend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Figure that out.
Yeah, I feel like in 7th grade, whenever I was younger, I didn't know anything about football. And I feel like over the years I've learned a lot about it from all of our coaches that we've had.
Tim, he was the same size as the football in 7th grade.
Just his head.
He's a little guy, but he's grown up a lot.
All right, so obviously y'all have very active mom and dads. They're always at the games, which is awesome. Not everybody is fortunate to have that. I got to ask both of y'all. Who's the loudest at games between mom and dad for both of y'all?
My mom, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was no hesitation,
No
Landon.
hesitation at all.
Timothy?
Probably my mom.
She is, but she knows absolutely nothing about football, so she's yelling for no reason.
Amen.
They're passionate, though, man. That's awesome. They're passionate.
I bet she knows more than my wife. Something Tina say,
Well, what just happened?
Yeah, was that good or bad?
Obviously, last Friday didn't go, obviously how we planned. Obviously, as seniors, what are you trying to, as far as in practice this week, kind of tell these young guys as we go into another week? Obviously, it's a rough week this week. What are you trying to teach them and tell them as we go into a new week?
You kind of have to forget about that loss. First day afterwards, Coach Shelton says, you take that day, watch film, whatever, take what you did wrong in that game, and then work off that. Forget about the loss and just move on to the next game.
That's what's good about having film. You can see what you did wrong, see what you need to improve on every week.
Talking about what you did wrong, I've seen this.
Thanks, Warren.
Watching from the sideline, when Coach Shelton pulls you over to the sideline, he don't just tell you what you did wrong, but he tells you how to fix it, doesn't he?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Have you had that before? A lot of times you see a coach that when he pulls you off, he's yelling at you, and there's no explanation. How does that make you feel to have that coach now compared to what we've had before?
I mean, it's great. That kind of is what separates Coach Shelton from everybody else. He's good to us, and teaches us a lot about football and even about life, really, past high school. So that's good for us.
Yeah, it definitely helps. You're in a game, you get flustered a lot of times. There's a whole lot going on out there. It helps to have someone pull you aside and just coach you while you're playing.
Yeah, and he's the type of coach that he might pull you over and chew your hind end, but then he pats you on the back and tells you to get back out there and do your job. And that goes a long way with kids. Just getting ridiculed, man, it does something to kids. But when you turn around after chewing them and then pat them on the back and say, get out there, you've already forgot about the chewing.
It's nothing but positive feedback for me to my kid. And don't ask him that.
You're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to lie on the radio.
No lie.
He blinks me lies. He blinks me lies.
I did that. I took Pee Wee basketball serious, probably too serious, because my wife a couple times said, if you yell at Madison one more time, I'm taking her home. But I was that way. I might call a kid over and chew him out, but I'd pat him on the back, give him high fives, and put him right back in there, and it didn't bother them.
Yeah. Staying with that, obviously every team, doesn't matter what level, college, NFL, high school, Pee Wee, you have more than one coach. There's always like a good cop, bad cop, a good coach, bad coach. Who's kind of the softest and the easiest to go to about things, and who's kind of the hardest on you?
Well, Coach Shelton's probably the good cop, and the guy that we just had in here, Coach Poe. Coach Poe really is.
Coach Poe will surprise you sometimes. You'll be going throughout practice, everything's going good, and you would make a mistake, he'll get on you.
I think he's a little bit bipolar.
We checked the gauge earlier. He seemed like he was okay. He was in a good mood earlier, so we didn't upset him. So
he was on the good side.
His mood ring was the right color.
Tell us something. Okay, staying with the coaching staff. Tell us something about these coaches that we may not know that might surprise us, maybe, about any of them. With you guys seeing them every day and being around them every day where we're not, what's something that might surprise us?
Do you know anything?
Keep it clean, boys.
Coach Poe listens to a lot of Drake.
Yeah, he's a Drake fan.
He's a big Drake fan.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Can I? And forgive me, guys. I'm sorry, and maybe I'm showing age here, but I keep hearing this Drake, and I, honest to God, can't name one song. Is it like R&B? Is it hip hop? Like, what's the
R&B?
Okay, so is he that good, or is it like?
He's got some pretty decent songs.
Okay. All right, I want to take your word for it, Bart.
Anybody listen to any of y'all's coaches listen to Lil Wayne?
Coach Poe.
Hey, I don't listen so much Drake, but I like Lil Wayne. You know who Lil Wayne is?
I do. I know who he is. I don't. Is that the? Yeah? Is that guy?
No, that's not Lil Wayne.
That's Lil Dr. Pepper.
I don't know who that is, but see, I'm not as cool as these guys are, obviously. So
it's a definite.
Yeah. Hey, let's go back to, and it better be the same answer for both of you. Through your football career, what's the game that stands out the most to you?
Definitely the Rice Bowl.
There we go.
Everybody, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Kids,
I want to get excited again.
Hey, take me back to that. You guys, y'all's junior year. It's been a while, obviously, since we beat them. What was the emotion like for you guys after that game?
Oh, it was just ridiculous. Emotions flying everywhere. Everybody was so happy, and that was a good good way to start our off season. Get us back into the mood of things. And it was great for us.
I think me and Andy shed some tears together up in the booth.
We did. I think we even hugged.
I think we did.
We shared a moment.
We did.
Wasn't awkward at all.
I'm just glad you had your shirt on.
Exactly, this time.
Oh, man.
I was going to have something actually with music. I was going to kind of put him on the spot, but I don't know if I want to do that. But can either one of you youngsters, you young guns, name a George Strait song?
Check yes or no.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
My favorite George Strait song is Run.
There we go. That's a good one, too. I was shocked. I didn't know if you guys would. That's pretty awesome. I like that.
Let's talk about the dress. Dress code.
They ain't got dresses on.
You can see it on the. You can see it on the screen there. Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Was y'all given the option on what y'all wanted to do? If you wanted to stay with the jerseys or go to the shirt and tie?
Yeah, it was kind of up to the seniors, and we really wanted to bring that back. We thought it was always
I'm
so
glad
cool
y'all did.
having people talk about it from 20, 30 years ago, having to do that, and we really wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, Coach Shelton kind of brought up the idea, he wasn't a big fan of us wearing our jerseys to school on game day. He kind of thought we need to save those for the game, put those on right before game time. So, we thought might as well dress up in a different way on a game day.
Well, you guys look amazing, man. I love it. It does bring back some memories for a lot of people. Sorry, my kids are yelling. And I think he's right about that jersey because when I was in school, we wore jerseys too. Anytime we wore white, after lunch, it was game over for me. It already needed to.
Yeah, Teen Wolf never looked so good in a tie.
Well, you got to take, your jersey, that's your armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
A warrior don't put his armor on until he's ready to go to battle.
I like that.
So
that is the best thing that you've ever said. That was real. Where did that come from?
It's just not
Will you give him a raise?
He has a piece of paper that says notes from my wife. Okay, that's where it came from. Yeah.
Nobody reads those.
That's awesome stuff. All right, so take me through a game day as a Bobcat football player right now. Obviously, you have classes in the morning, but as seniors, obviously, you guys are getting out earlier, correct?
Yeah.
What time do you guys get out, and then where do y'all go from there? What is y'all's game day routine or ritual that you guys do personally?
Well, we get out at noon, and we usually go eat Subway on game days. That's just something we've done for a few years.
Yeah, Mexican probably don't sit too well with
Something light on the stomach.
Whoops.
So you go to Subway, you eat there. Do you have any other superstitions or game day routines that y'all do?
Kind of just go to sleep, really. Get off the feet and go to sleep and let my body rest.
So what's your favorite subs? Since we're talking about Subway.
You got to have Italian herb and cheese.
Oh, I love that,
bread.
man.
That's the only option.
Yeah, because you're getting the most for your money that way. It only makes sense. Now, do y'all stuff it with every little thing?
No,
I'll
just
have
ham
one.
and cheese. I'm a plain guy. I'm plain Jane.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like it plain. You get ham, cheese, you get a little bit of bacon on there, too.
They're watching their weight. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Coach Shelton's got them on a strict diet. We just didn't know. Guys, we really enjoy streaming y'all's games. First of all, I want to say to all the parents out there, Mark, obviously you're here too, of these kids, you guys are always been so respectful to us. We're just media. We're nothing special, but you guys have always really been respectful. Anytime we've talked to you, it's always been yes, sir, yes, this, that. And I just want to say thank you guys for that. Y'all have always treated us really well. And obviously y'all's group was one of the first ones there as y'all were coming up. Because they were, 8th graders probably?
Hey, they're probably a bigger fan of us as we are of them.
I doubt that. But
Sounded good.
It sounded great. But seriously, y'all, for real, have always been respectful. I know we had a couple parents here earlier, some kids in school, and I meant to tell them that, and I didn't. But we really do appreciate that. You guys have always been good. And now we got the dressing up stuff, man. I'm just so proud of you guys, how y'all represent not just yourselves, but the Bobcats and the football team. And I really want to just say thank you for that. To all the players. You guys are great. And me personally, I really do appreciate that. I've been meaning to say that for quite a while and just keep forgetting. But go ahead, Mark.
Hey, if you guys could go back during this off season after your junior year, what's one thing you would change personally to help you improve for this season?
Well, I don't really know. If I'd like to have gotten in the weight room a little bit more, back in December, January. A lot of people like to take that time off, take it as a break, but get in the weight room a little bit more and just a little more opportunity to get stronger.
Really trying to take the time to just get these underclassmen to buy in, and play with us and understand that they're going to be playing on Friday nights, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
So,
Moving forward, what's your plans for after high school?
I plan on going to college. I mean, getting a degree.
Timmy's going to be a nuclear physicist.
yeah, I plan on going to college. Probably not as great of a future as Tim is, but going to college and first starting off getting my basics, and I don't really know what I'm majoring in, kind of like Coach Daniel said, that he switched his major 3 or 4 times. So
I don't know if y'all knew this, but Trevor was actually, I don't know if y'all listened to him, but he was actually planning on being a dentist.
A dentist.
Yep.
Really?
That's what he said. He said he had a friend's dad that was a dentist. He said he worked 4 days a week. They live in a mansion. I thought it looked pretty good to me.
Well, then he went into something, was going to do something else too, wasn't he, before he
I don't even remember what he said now.
The coach.
But he
probably a rapper.
Probably a rapper.
I
wonder if he changed that
Little
profession due to his bipolar disease. That's probably not good for a dentist.
Hey, we've talked about this Pee-wee football. Y'all both play Pee-wee football. Don't you think it really prepares a kid, and by the time he gets in 7th grade, he pretty much knows the X and O's and what to do?
Yes, it's a good thing that we're doing. Jim Davis was a starter of it, and it really helped us get into the mood of things and figure out the X and O's and even how to put on a helmet and pads and everything.
Yeah. Some people we have not given thanks to, we may have, but I would like to thank the guys that volunteer to be the Pee-wee football coaches. Because, that's where it gets started.
I agree.
They put in a lot of time that they don't have to.
Yeah.
They're out there for the fun of it and because they love football.
And we've got
Thank you guys, every one of you.
Several this year too.
Yep.
Do you guys have like a teacher that just really stands out to you at school that you want to give a little shout out, a little love to? Maybe a favorite teacher there, not to upset any of the other teachers. But
hey, you're always gonna have a favorite. Man.
I know, right? One that maybe stands out to you.
Well, this year, we take college classes and they're fully online. So 3 of my 4 classes are with Coach Shelton.
And he didn't name him his favorite teacher. Coach, by the way, it's 9:34. They may be late.
Miss Barajas.
Okay.
We talked about Pee-wee football a while ago. Timothy, I tell you, he didn't want to play football.
I remember that.
And in 6th grade, I finally said, "Okay, you're going to try it anyway." And then went into 7th grade year with Coach Mosley. And we all know Coach Mosley was all about your being physical, being in shape. Coach West, Timothy come home was wanting to quit. So I called Coach West and talked to him. He was helping at the time. And he said, just tell him, just hang into it, finish this year. After doing that, do you think that you made the right choice by playing football?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know what I'd be doing today if I didn't stay playing football.
Really laundry, mowing the yard. I got all kinds of stuff you could be doing.
Yeah, my yard needs mowed. Can you use a weed eater?
Yeah. It really helped. Coach Mosley was big into weightlifting, so I think that really helped all of us out a lot. We got a lot stronger than we would have been if we hadn't have been lifting.
Best decision your dad ever made for you to make you play football, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I wish I would have been playing since 3rd or 4th grade instead of 6th grade.
Hey, at least you picked it up and you like it, man. That's what matters.
Guys, I don't want to keep you too long. I really don't. I'm sorry that the other we kind of went long with the other guests. We had a few more things we probably want to talk about, but I know there's some classes that you guys will have to get to, and we'll get in a little bit of trouble from Coach. And I've heard how he can be. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be his bad side. So no, he's a good dude. But I want to say thank you for you guys. One real quick question: are we ready for tonight?
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yes.
Awesome, love it, guys. That has been 2 seniors, not one, but 2 seniors. And we need to give them some props. They're the first kids that have come up here, first students that have come up here. Sorry, my kids. God. I'm never making this mistake again.
You ain't going to have to bring them up in the booth tonight, are you?
I hope not. Oh, gosh, I hope not. But these 2 kids were the first one, and that's not easy.
And they did a great job.
They did. They got here early. They're looking great. They took time out from their day on game day. So, guys, let's get out there tonight to Cherry Valley Cross County High School. Let's support these kids.
And if you can't, join us on CSR.
If you can't, we'd much rather you be there. You can always watch us later. get out there, get your tails in those seats, support these kids. They're lovable kids. They really are. They're respectable kids. They've been through the highs and lows. And man, I love them. Love you guys.
Tim was the cutest little kid there was.
Yeah, just adorable. Kind of like Chubby Cheeks here. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But really, if you can get out there tonight, that's been Landon Lucas and Timothy Hufford. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll end this radio show here in just a little bit. You're watching Good Morning Corning on KBKG. More music, 93.5. Your family-owned and operated hometown dealer right here in Corning for over 45 years now. Any of your automotive needs, go by and see them, whether it's sales, maybe new or used, or parts or service. They've got you taken care of. You can see them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., or Saturday, 7 to noon. A lot of friendly faces there, like David and Brent Taylor, Jim Clifton. Or you can call those fine folks at 870-857-3516. Find them on Facebook. Find them online, www.redtailorford.com. Proud sponsors of KBKG More Music 93.5 FM and of the Corning Bobcats. KBKG More Music 93.5 FM. Corning's hometown station. That's what you're listening to right now, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Hey guys, if you want to tune in every Friday night during football season, we'll have all the Corning Bobcat football games live on your radio waves right here. Also select basketball games, baseball, and softball games. That's right here, More Music 93.5. Also, we want to say thank you to Jim Atkins, owner-operator at KBKG, for all he does and for allowing us to do this radio show this morning, and Amanda Sutphin for all of her help, and Rob Barnett for all he does as well. Again, KBKG, More Music 93.5, Corning's hometown station. Go Cats, go. You're listening to Good Morning Corning, our new radio station here in our hometown of Corning, Arkansas, hosted by myself, Andy Earls, and co-hosted by Bart White and Mark Hufford, right here on KBKG, More Music 93.5. Look ahead to more of these radio shows, and your current show will be back on very shortly. Thanks for tuning in. And we're back here live, KBKG, More Music 93.5. This is Good Morning Corning, episode number 2. I have got Mr. Bart White and Mark Hufford on the headset here. Our guests have come and gone, and now it's just down to us. Kind of lonely now.
Look, you're sleepy, Andy.
He's getting sleepy, yeah. Hi, I want to talk a little bit about the team we're playing tonight, and that is the Cross County Thunderbirds. They're out of the Conference 2A2. Cross County comes in 1-0. They beat their rival, Harrisburg, 4A school, by the way, last week, 15-14. And it was on their brand new turf field there at Cross County High School in Cherry Valley. And I tell you, they have really impressed me, guys, on film. Hang on, so be careful. Hey, stand up. They have really impressed me on film because that's a team in Harrisburg. It's a 4A school. They're going in there. Obviously a rival. I know Harrisburg, new coach and all that, but man, honestly, they took the physicality to Harrisburg, which is kind of surprising to me.
If their senior high is anything like their junior high was last night, we're going to have our hands full.
Yeah.
I mean, they was very athletic kids. The quarterback was phenomenal. He was every bit of 6 foot, 6'1". Throw the ball, run the ball, kick the ball. He did it all.
Kind of like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
They returned. This is crazy. Last week we played a team that returned 20 of the 22 starters. This week we're playing a team that, you guessed it, returns 20 of the 22 starters. We can't catch a break there. And this is a team that's hot. They're believing. They got that new facility out there. They got new turf. They're looking good, feeling good, and they're playing good. And their coach is Cody Goulart, spelled a little different because he's from Louisiana. Down in Louisiana.
Maybe he'll make us some jambalaya for the game.
That'd be awesome. I'd love some, baby. I love a little Cajun food.
Me too.
He graduated in 2008, played college football in Jackson, Tennessee. It's his 11th year overall as a coach. His third as a head coach. Now, he's only 7-12 at Cross County, but again, they've been starting young kids. And matter of fact, this is a really intriguing statistic. So last year, their average amount of kids that they dressed out each week was 17.
Wow.
That's what they average for the season, 17. This year, he's got good numbers. He's got guys that have a ton of playing time, and they've got a lot of confidence. So it will not be no cupcake type of game. We'll have to show up and show out for sure. But obviously, I believe my guys. I told y'all. Sorry, guys. I told y'all about the here. Get down, family. Get down. I told y'all about the Cave City game a few years ago, and it was an ugly game at home.
Yeah.
Very next week, they go on the road, really good ways away to Yellville Summit, and man, they look good.
They did.
They look. You remember that game?
Yeah, because I missed the Cave City game.
Yes, and man, they look good, and that propelled them the rest of the season. That bounce back, and I think this team has that same fighting resolve. And I think you'll see that tonight.
Andy, is the field where the old field was, or is it close to the old field?
I have no idea where the old field was.
Okay.
I know it's all new turf, new press box, everything. It's nice. Now, what bugs me, though, and you guys will see this tonight, the away team, or the away fans, the bleachers on the away side they're not centered. It's 50-yard line. They're like from 40 to 20. It's really weird.
That is weird.
Bugs the fire out of me, man. I don't know why. It just does. But yeah, it's
get
nice.
Somebody to move them.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of turf, did y'all know 105 out of 200 teams playing 11-man football have turf fields?
Really?
I think so. That's going to be one of our disadvantages is not having the practice on a turf field like that.
I think that's where you see more injuries.
Yeah.
Going from grass to turf.
The boys will tell you it's a lot slicker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Hot, and they say it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then you got to make sure you got the right type of, footwear, obviously, to get traction, guys, to get traction on there as well. And obviously, I think weather-wise, we don't have to worry about any, precipitation, anything getting on there and getting a slip. But again, you're right. Going from that always to that, it's a big change. And I know I think Gosnell had turf, didn't they?
Yes.
They did? Okay. So they've got a little bit of experience this year on turf, so that's good. Hey, and we played good.
Yeah.
Maybe
we did play good. We did play good.
Maybe it's a turf thing, so I don't know. But do you guys have any last words before we get off here and call it a day?
I'd just like to wish Corning Bobcats good luck tonight.
Yep. Go Bobcats.
Everybody that goes the game, drive safe, and we'll see you there.
Sounds good, guys. For Andy Earls, Bart White, Mark Hufford, this has been Good Morning Corning Episode 2. We love you guys. God bless you, and we'll see you tonight.
Hey, when's our next broadcast?
Oh, great question. That's good. Okay, so we won't be on air next Friday. It'll be the next away game, which is 2 weeks from now.
Okay, good.
Now I think Miss Paige Cat's going to be here for that. She's going to help us. We've already got a couple of people lined out for that. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Actually, I'm really glad you brought that up. I don't have it on mine. Do you have it on yours?
That's it.
Episode number 3. That's episode 4. We got people for. Okay.
There it is.
Episode 3, which is in 2 weeks. It's September 6th. Baby, stop, honey. It's episode 3 is September 16th. 7:30 that morning, we'll have Fred Martin. Fred Martin's been around for a long time covering Bobcat athletics. That'll be really intriguing to pick his brain about some really cool moments.
He's got a good radio voice also.
Yes, he does. Hey, guys. they got a great radio voice.
Yes, they do. Piano skills, you name it.
Fred Martin will be here. Bill Ennis, Coach Bill Ennis, will also be here that day. He'll be here, and we're going to get some more, obviously. We got to fill those gaps there. And then the next week, we've got David Wilson who's going to do a phone interview. For those that don't know, David is doing a book. He's writing a book, and it's almost done, on the 150th year birthday of Corning, which is next year. And Bobcat Sports is in there, too, which is going to be really neat. He's been calling, getting a lot of tidbits from us. That'll be really cool to have him on there, because he's been calling everybody and talking to everybody, getting a lot of information, soaking it up. It'd be really neat to see what he's kind of.
Hey, we can do a podcast and have him read the book to everybody.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I like that. There
we
go.
All day.
That might hurt his book sales, but that's a good idea. Yeah. So, guys, this has been all of us at the CSR crew. Andy Earls, Bart White, Mark Hufford. Good Morning Corning. We'll see you next time.